nation. Tulowitzki never broke stride, along with moments colored by disappointment. This one's gone. The first half of this 2011 season for the Colorado Rockies was not as they would have scripted it. And now they find themselves in need of another second half surge to pen the perfect ending. The drama continues as the second half begins next. Everybody will find out if the Rockies are lactose intolerant. The Cheeseheads invading Coors Field tonight as the Rockies get set to open a 4-game series against the Milwaukee Brewers. It was raining earlier, but the sunshine is out, and we're set for baseball as the Rockies get set to kick off the second half of the Major League season. Everybody, welcome inside Coors Field. I'm Tom Helmer alongside George Frazier. And if the Rockies are going to dig themselves out of this hole and be a competitor, they've got to play better here at Coors Field.
They can't be 500 at home. They have to get it going and get it going quick against a very good baseball team, the Milwaukee Brewers, then the Atlanta Braves. The problem is the Milwaukee Brewers haven't played well on the road. The worst, tied for the worst record out on the road with the Houston Astros. Well, they're not playing good baseball either. The Rockies have to get timely hitting. They've got to continue to get pitching. And again, this is where Aaron Cook and this is where Nicasio and Hamill have to step up to the plate.
Yeah, the Brewers are 16-29 on the road. It's been an Achilles heel for them. They'd like to try and right that ship. Of course, the Rockies would like to try and stop that, start a streak of their own, and get rolling. We're going to take a break here on Root Sports. When we return to Coors Field, an update on outfielder Carlos Gonzalez as we check in with Mark Stout. That's next.
spades since he ran into the wall on July 3rd, that Sunday against Kansas City. He did have a cortisone shot in his right wrist on Tuesday. Took BP in the cages today. He'll rest another day and see if he can start, possibly tomorrow. It would be a week since he started a game in Washington. So that doesn't bode well for the Rockies. Carlos Gonzalez still out as they start the second half, and they are 8.5 games out of first behind the Giants in the NL West. Still, we asked the All-Star Troy Tulowitzki what his approach is to getting things done.
It's hard to explain, but you got to wake up real quick, especially with the hole that we're in. And that puts a big part of it on me. I need to play better, and I'm going to. And I think we're going to have a big second half. I think we're going to get back in this thing, and I'm excited for it.
And Rockies fans, you know you can be optimistic about the second half. Colorado has the second best winning percentage in second half games since 2007 in the National League, second only to the Philadelphia Phillies. And they get that second half started here tonight with the Milwaukee Brewers. We have baseball coming your way from Coors Field. First of 4, Rocks and the Brew Crew coming your way next.
Welcome to Coors Field. The rains have stopped. The sunshine has come out, and we're set for baseball as Ubaldo Jimenez and the Rockies take the field to start the second half of the Major League season. They'll open it up with a 4-game series against the Milwaukee Brewers. Ricky Weeks will be leading things off for Milwaukee, hitting .278 this season, 17 home runs, 39 runs driven in. Take a look at the Brewers starting lineup brought to you by Southwest Airlines. Niger Morgan will be batting second. You got a couple All-Stars in Ryan Braun and Prince Fielder behind him. Corey Hart, Casey McGee, Yuniesky Betancourt, and Jonathan Lucroy will be behind the plate.
And on the hill today, Osvaldo Jimenez, who took over the all-time strikeout leader in the Rockies' history, with 750 in the last start. Estacio at 749. And obviously, you see the home and road numbers. They vary quite drastically, quite honest. At home, 1-5, 624 run average, and opponent's average above 300. And then in 8 road games, he's 3-3, 228 ERA with a .158 average against. That is tremendous, particularly his last start. No hit stuff against the Washington Nationals for Osvaldo Jimenez.
Yeah, that 8-inning outing by Jimenez in that last start against Washington, his longest outing since he pitched a complete game on June 1st against the Dodgers. He'll face Weeks to start things off. Weeks, a career hitter, 6 of 11 against Jimenez.
Good fastball hitter. A lot of power for a leadoff man, but Jimenez has handled the leadoff position this year. They've hit just 200 against him.
.71 degrees and what's turned out to be a beautiful night for baseball. Here's the 0-1 pitch to Weeks. That one down in the dirt. Well, hello. Crowd thin right now. People getting off work, making their way over to the ballpark for this one.
Heavier rain down south.
I'm sure the rain
Down
has
in
thrown
your
some
area.
people off. This one right back up the middle into Jimenez's glove. He'll fire it over to Helton for the first out. Take a look at how the Rockies stand up defensively, and with the injury to Carlos Gonzalez and Charlie Blackmon out with a broken foot, you have Wigington, Spilborghs, and Smith in the outfield. Ian Stewart, Tulowitzki, Ellis, and Helton around the infield, and Chris Iannetta behind the plate. Ryan Spilborghs making his 3rd start of the season out in center field. Or excuse me, his 3rd start in the leadoff spot. But he knew he'd be playing some center field this season with Carlos Gonzalez over in left. It's a fly ball to shallow center field. Spilborghs underneath it. That's the 2nd out of the inning.
Well, he's a guy that can play multiple positions in the outfield, so it brings a lot of value to your team because of his ability to be able to do it. He has a strong arm. He gets good great breaks on the baseball, cover gap to gap, and obviously it helps with that guy in the lineup. But not there, so he turned it over to the range over to Ryan Spilborghs.
And with 2 away, that'll bring up Ryan Braun. He's missed the last 8 games as well as the All-Star game with a calf strain. He looks at a first pitch ball. So the count now 1-1. Braun, 1 of 3 All-Stars for the Brewers, along with Prince Fielder and Ricky Weeks. Of course, Prince Fielder, the hero of that All-Star game. There's a swing and a miss.
With velocity and you rise into the strike zone with it, you have an opportunity to throw the ball by right and left-handed hitters. You got it by Braun up in the zone that time.
Saw Prince Fielder, the MVP of the All-Star game, with his 3-run homer. The 1-2 pitch to Braun. He got a piece of that one as Ubaldo hits 96 on the radar gun.
Ubaldo in his career 29 and 27 in the first half of a season. Maybe that explains a little bit of the struggles here this year. After the All-Star break, 25 and 17. That was a just kidding pitch.
Yeah, he was set to wind up there.
Yeah, just kidding.
I'm going to start it. It's a do-over.
It's a do-over.
Okay, now I'm ready. Here's the 1-2 pitch.
Yeah.
This one fouled down the right field side. Ryan Braun, great career numbers against Jimenez. And Jimenez is a guy, too, that everybody seems to be fascinated with where he's hitting on the radar gun, because his velocity hasn't always been where it's been in the past. But that last one, 95 miles an hour.
Pretty consistent today in this ball game, sitting 93 to 97 miles an hour. That ball's going to get into the gap in right center. Braun just a good hitter.
And Braun's going to make a move for second base. Also flip it over to Tulowitzki, but Braun in with a double. And the Brewers have their first hit of the evening.
Now look at the location. Fastball up, got by. This fastball's out over the plate. It's such a good contact hitter. Braun on the season hitting .320. Just allowed the velocity of the pitch and the location to drive it into the gap. Didn't try to pull the baseball, went with the pitch. And the result's obviously good for him. And now you've got a tough left-hander at the plate in Prince Fielder. 23-game hitting streak for Braun now.
Yeah, so he hasn't missed a beat after missing 8 games with that calf injury. And now you got to face Prince Fielder, who had an awesome June, hitting .337 with 10 homers and 27 runs driven in. And he looks at a first pitch strike. The last 6 times the Rockies and Brewers have faced each other, 5 of those games decided by 1 run. The other game decided by 2. One fouled on the left field line. That was a bullet into the seats. A fan thought, I'm going to get that. And then he thought, you know what? That thing is coming in quick. Yeah, thank you, seat. I'm just going to sit here and have a beverage and be glad that didn't hit me.
The Brewers' popularity has grown with their success.
0-2 pitch. This one fouled off.
I was watching Ed Rapuano and Brian Honora, the second base umpire, and the reason why he made a quick turn, meaning Brian Honora did at second base, and he's grabbed his back pretty quickly, and Ed Rapuano went to check on him. We'll see how he handles the rest of this ball game. And why would you talk about that at this point? Well, you may go to a 3-man crew if he can't continue.
Well, that went down in the dirt. We'll talk about Prince Fielder being an all-star MVP as far as first basemen go. He joins an elite group that includes Fred McGriff, Steve Garvey, and Willie McCovey. Here's the 1-2 pitch. This one fouled. Fred McGriff did it in 1994, Steve Garvey twice in 74 and 78, and Willie McCovey back in 1969. That's a nice group to be mentioned with.
Yeah, it is. I mean, the one guy, 2 of them should be in the Hall of Fame. One of them is, and Fred McGriff, Steve Garvey, Prince Fielder. Keep putting up his numbers. He'll have a happy ending to his career.
One to left field. This one will drop in. It's a fair ball. Braun will come in to score to make it a 1-0 game. Fielder going for second base, and he's in with a double.
73rd RBI now for Prince Fielder on the year. And this ball club, when it scores first in a ball game, 33 and 18. The Milwaukee Brewers are trying to make a statement with that lousy road record that they have. 16 and 29, trying to improve on that. Getting the jump start here early in this game on a double by Fielder after a double by Braun.
So that'll bring up Corey Hart.
73rd RBI by Prince breaks the tie with he and Ryan Howard as National League leaders.
Corey Hart was a guy that had been batting in the 3rd spot the last 8 games. There you see the umpire at second base, Brian Honora.
He tweaked that back pretty good. He's trying to stay as stationary as he can. He's trying to move around, stretch. You can tell guys with bad backs, you don't see a lot of rotation. You see a lot of stiff board type look. Maybe in this inning in, Scotty Garrett will give a look at him. They'll make a determination to go with 3 or keep 4.
He's positioned almost directly in front of Mark Ellis. The 2-0 pitch. One catches it for a strike. Hard as I had mentioned, Batting fifth tonight. Had been in that third spot for Ryan Braun in the 8 games that Braun was out with the injured calf. Good swing and a miss there. Evens the count at 2-2. Hart hitting .226 with runners in scoring position. The 2-2 pitch. Swing and a miss, and he struck him out. But the Brewers pick up a pair of doubles. Ryan Braun scores a run, and it's 1-0 Brewers. House. It looks like he is done for the evening, so it'll be a 3-man umpiring crew moving forward for the remainder of this ball game.
And all of these umpires have worked in that situation before. It's just a matter of getting the rotation on calls.
Ryan Spilborgh's batting leadoff for the 3rd time this season. And here's a look at the rest of the starting lineup, brought to you by Southwest Airlines. Mark Ellis, who batted 142 on the 7-game road trip, batting second, followed by Helton, Tulowitzki, and Smith. Ty Wigington starting in left field. Ian Stewart batting 4 for 19 since being called back up from AAA Colorado Springs is batting 7th, followed by Iannetta and Jimenez. It's the 58th time in Ryan Spilborgh's career that he's batted in the #1 spot. He's hit .282 in that position.
Second base a little empty without a guy dressed in gray slacks and a black top. Brian O'Neill out of this ball game with a lower back spasm.
Alfonso Marquez and Ed Rapuano are going to have to cover a lot of ground out there. You got Ed Hickox behind the plate. Here's the 2-1 pitch from Gallardo. Foul on the right side.
Has had difficulty with the Rockies through his career, although has won a lot of ball games. 46-29 overall. He's 0-3 with a .683 and 5 career starts versus the Rockies. A young right-hander that went in the 2nd round with the Milwaukee Brewers.
The 2-2 pitch and fouled back.
Overall this year, 10-5, 376 earned run average, throwing a lot of innings with a lot of strikeouts, and he can mount up strikeouts in a ball game. This year, he's struck out 10 in a couple of ball games.
He had 6 strikeouts against Arizona in his last start. Here's the 2-2 pitch. This one deep to left field down the left field line, and this one is off the foul pole. It's a home run for Ryan Spilborghs.
Nice way to start as a leadoff man. Carlos Gonzalez, you get used to that. Spilly could get used to this. A hanging breaking ball that Gallardo got on top of. It just failed to break.
Well, they got all of this one, and it was curving down the left field line. And it was just about to bend to the left side of that foul pole, and it struck it dead on.
A hanging breaking ball. They wanted down in the dirt and down and away, and didn't work out that way.
Strike to Mark Ellis.
Fly to this baseball, you follow about 3/4 the way up. It catches the foul pole. Ricochets back. A low strike called by Ed Hickok, so down below the knee area on Mark Ellis.
It's just the 4th game Mark Ellis has played at Coors Field as a Colorado Rocky. As he fouls that one off. Played the first 3 against the Kansas City Royals, hit .533 in that series. And they went on the road against the Braves and Washington, and he batted .142 over that stretch.
Well, a lot of guys scuffle against those pitching staffs at those 2 locations.
Well, that leadoff home run by Ryan Spilborghs, the 34th in Rockies history. It's the 2nd time Ryan Spilborghs has done it. The count now even to Ellis at 2-2. That's what he did during the All-Star break. Just said enjoyed time with his family.
Well, obviously been with Oakland all those years, and then you get traded right before the All-Star break. Things get disrupted.
Well, they're getting used to downtown Denver.
Yeah, they're kind of like in 16th Street Mall where all the shops are.
Here's the 3-2 pitch to Ellis. Grounder towards short. Betancourt with a long throw, and he got it.
You see Troy Tulowitzki make this play an awful lot. A strong arm by Betancourt, too. Very fundamentally sound in the planting of the feet and the arm angle to throw the baseball to Prince Fielder.
Well, in the outfield, they've got Braun, Morgan, and Hart. The Brewers' infield has had its problems. Casey McGee, 13 errors. Ricky Weeks, 12. And Fielder, 9. All ranked first in errors at their position in the National League. And Yuniesky Betancourt has 10 errors, which ranks him 10th in the National League. Todd Helton had a great first half. 321 with 10 homers, 41 runs driven in. Swing and a miss there. Evens the count at 1-1. He's a guy at the beginning of the season. He said if he'd have hit 15 home runs, drove in 75 or 80, that'd have been a great year for him.
Would have been a great year a year ago. Obviously, this year is having one of those years that he should reach every one of the marks he's talked about in spring training. I think one thing that Todd has come to understand, he's not the same Todd Helton he was 10 years ago, hitting 35 and driving in 130. But he's still a very, very productive player.
That one off.
Todd Helton trying to take advantage of the defensive alignment of the Milwaukee Brewers, throw him fastballs away, and then could shoot to that left side where you see 24 hits on the season to the left side, pretty equally distributed, 33 to center and 30 to the right side.
Spray that baseball foul down the right field line.
Tremendous hand-eye coordination on the baseball. Let's see, we had to show the guy booting the ball. That way, that wasn't fair.
They should have gloves. It's always been my contention.
I know,
those guys should let them bring their leather to the ballpark. Give them a fighting chance down there.
Well, I would think so.
Tom Helmer, George Frazier, and Mark Stout with you from Coors Field. Two and two the count to Helton. you're just joining us, the Brewers got back-to-back doubles in the first inning. Prince Fielder's double drove in Ryan Braun to make it 1-0. Ryan Spilborgh's led off this inning with a solo home run. This one to shallow center field, and it's put away by Morgan for the second out of the inning. Who wants tacos? Fans, remember, if the Rockies score 7 or more runs during any game, go to participating Colorado Taco Bell locations the next day between 4 and 6 p.m. to get your Rockies taco special. Feed your Rockies fever only at Taco Bell. Cheesehead in progress there, I guess. Small Brewers fan. They ended up with some good seats, too.
They knew somebody, didn't
they?
Right
behind their team's dugout.
Yeah, must have known the boss. Or the owner.
Now here's All-Star Troy Tulowitzki. Had a single in the All-Star game. Two-time All-Star, but this was the first year he got to play in it. Remember, he had the wrist injury last year. Started the All-Star game this season. There's one to right center field, and this one will be missed by It's going to go all the way to the wall. Tulowitzki will go into second base and hold up with a stand-up double.
A lot of teams, the first and second days in at Coors Field, have a tough time registering the fly to the baseball because of the light air. They think the ball has the ability to be cut off the bat, as it does here with Hart. Hart's 6'5", and then well out of the reach of this ball that was just a line shot by Tulowitzki. Neither one of these teams were allowed on the field for batting practice today, so it really takes away defensively for the outfielders to test the fly to the baseball.
Speaking of outfielders, here's right fielder Seth Smith.
Typically, this is where Gallardo really makes his pitch. The opposition's hit .211 against him with runners in scoring position. You see that Ed Rapuano has moved because of the runner at second. He'll make the call at first from second.
Swing and a miss by Smith evens the count at 1-1.
A lot of talk about Todd Helton's first half success. Seth Smith, 292 average for the Rockies, 321 with 2 outs and a runner in scoring position. Pretty impressive numbers.
We'll see if he can come through here. That was the 25th pitch thrown this inning by Gallardo. He's a workhorse. He's thrown 117 in the third innings coming into this game this season, second most in the Brewers staff. And the count now 3-1.
Not making a full complement of starts the last 2 years. He still threw 185 innings both seasons.
The 3-1 pitch to Smith. This one grounded towards second. Weeks with a throw to first, and that'll end the inning. But not before Ryan Spilborghs goes deep with a leadoff solo home run to left field. We're all tied up at 1 apiece. Home run in the first to tie things up at 1. Right now, let's check in with Mark Stout. Mark.
All right, guys, it's time for the optimistic outlook as the Rockies begin the second half of the season. Let's go back to last year and show you where the Rockies stood at this point as they began things in the second half. Everybody knows that this year they're trailing, of course, San Francisco by 8.5, so a little bit of a difference. But I want you to remember last year. Think about August 22nd. The team was 63-60 at that point, and a full 11 games back of the Padres in the NL West. In the next 3 weeks, they made up 10 games to get within a game and a half. They went 16-4, and then by September the 18th, they're a game out of the NL West. And Jim Tracy said it again, Tom and George, and you know it. It is just such a long season. Still 71 games to go, including tonight.
Yeah, it's a long way to go, and it's something Jim Tracy talked about before the ball game. 71 to play. He said as long as you're within single digits,
well,
you're not out of it.
That's kind of always been the benchmark, that if you got to 10 out at the break, you were in trouble. But if you were less than that, then you had that chance. And the Rockies were able to make up ground a year ago because of two things. They played great baseball, and the Padres started to falter. And when that happened, things took off. And, of course, the biggest series came here in mid-September when the Giants came to town.
Well, the count's 2-2 right now. You might be wondering, if you're paying attention, where that extra ball came from. Ubaldo Jimenez went to his mouth while on the hill on the rubber, and they charged him with a ball. So the count 2-2. This one grounded towards third. Stewart with the throw, and he's out.
What a different year for McGee. A year ago, he had 285, 23 home runs, and 104 RBIs. This year, 223 with 5 home runs and 36 RBIs. He's got a lot of making up to do to get last year's numbers.
Well, last year he set a franchise record for the Brewers for a third baseman with the number of runs he drove in over the course of the season. And with 1 out, Ubaldo Jimenez will face Yuniesky Betancourt, who's hitting .237 this season. That's one of the things when you look at Prince Fielder's numbers and what he's done. He hasn't hit with a whole lot of protection behind it.
No, he has not, and they've had to shuffle around because of a lot of injuries. Ugly swing by Betancourt. He even acknowledged after the swing. 0-2 for Jimenez with 1 out.
The 0-2 pitch from Jimenez. Grounded right back up the middle. Tulowitzki can't get a glove on it. And Betancourt is safe at first. That'll be scored as a base hit.
Well, it should be. Jimenez fell off first base side. That eliminated him from trying to make the play. Tulowitzki hit off the thumb. He knew it had to be a quick exchange with Betancourt running of an average to above average runner. Difficult play for Tulowitzki.
That'll bring up the catcher, Jonathan Lucroy. Lucroy loves hitting against the Rockies. 9 for 20 in his career against Colorado.
Yeah, go figure, too. I mean, you see those numbers against Colorado. And then you see the season totals this year in 73 games, having one of his better years. 2 for 4 with a home run in his 3-game set in Milwaukee this year against the Rockies.
Here's the 0-1 pitch. Count now even at 1-1. I was asked today, George, if you're looking at some of the bright spots for the Rockies, reasons for hope moving forward throughout the season, what would they be? And one of them is the guy right there on the hill, Ubaldo Jimenez, pitching as the Jimenez of old.
He has to, and that's what he's done his last 8 starts. He's pitched that way. He's received some of the lowest run support this year of anybody in baseball. See 0-5 in the first 9, and in the last 8, 4-3 overall record. But this year, 6th in the league with run support at 3 runs per ball game, a little over 3 runs per ball game. When you're the ace, typically you draw the other team's ace. So your matchups, you're going to have low scoring ball games when you're on the hill.
Here's the 1-1 pitch. Swing and a miss. Strike two.
Nasty split finger right out of the hand. Appears to be the fastball and then just dives down. Difficult pitch to handle, to hit and catch.
Jimenez has thrown 31 pitches so far. 25 of them have been strikes. He's ahead on Lucroy. Foul tip. Well, the umpires continue to shift around with a runner at first and nobody else on. Now you've got an umpire at first and an umpire at second. Nobody over at third base.
That's where it gets a little tricky when you start seeing guys sprinting across the field as far as umpires are concerned, to make sure they're in a good position to make a call.
Brian O'Nora left the game midway through the first inning with what appeared to be a stiff back. So as soon as the first 3 outs of the game were recorded, he made his way down into the Rockies clubhouse, and he'll be looked after. But in the meantime, it's a 3-umpire crew. Is your windshield damaged? Call Safelight Auto Glass at 303-287-5000 or go to safelight.com. Betancourt at first, 1 out. 2-2 pitch. Swing and a miss. He struck him out, and Betancourt will go into second base.
Yeah, something a manager does not ever like to see is the team react as maybe the 3rd out of an inning, and that time several Rockies started to move off the field thinking there was 2 outs, and there's 3 to get through the inning. Chris Iannetta was one of those guys. He tags the runner and then starts to walk off and then checks the board to recognize what it is, and Ubaldo holds up 2 fingers.
Says we're not done here yet.
3rd stolen base for Betancourt on the year, and the guy at the plate's not anybody to fool around with the bat. The Silver Slugger Award in 2010.
It's the pitcher Yovani Gallardo. He's hitting 200 this season, has a home run. Count even at 1-1.
A lot of people watching the game think, well, it's a pitcher, throw it down the middle. This pitcher's pretty good. Tom just mentioned his numbers on the year.
40 at the plate this season.
one home run, 3 RBIs. He was the Silver Slugger Award for pitchers a year ago. Count goes to 3-1. By no means are you trying to pitch around him to get to Weeks, but you're not going to just put one right down the middle either.
That fastball missed to make the count 3-1. And here's one to right center field. This one is going to drop. That'll drive in Betancourt. It's a 2-1 lead. Gallardo on his way to second base, and he's got himself a stand-up double. Just like we were saying, George, he can swing the bat.
He can swing the bat, and obviously not trying to pitch around him at all, but a gut shot fastball early or late in the count, he has the ability to hurt you, and he does just this. And the right center field drives in his 4th run and the 2nd run of the ball game. When you swing the bat as well as he does, it can keep you in games beyond the 6th inning when it might dictate for a pinch hitter.
Gallardo picks up his first double of the season. That's the 3rd double by the Brewers today. There have been 6 hits combined in this ball game. 5 of them have been extra base hits. 3 doubles by the Brewers and a single, and a home run and a double by the Rockies. no pitch to Weeks. That one's a strike. Weeks grounded it right back to Jimenez in the first inning.
Well, Ron Renicky making his first appearance as a manager at Coors Field. 6 games over 500 and in first place with his Brewer ball club.
The 1-1 pitch. Fouled back into the seats along the right side.
He's the one guy, and I should say team, that has been able to handle the opposition, the Pittsburgh Pirates. They're 5-0 against the Pirates. Clint Hurdle's team, 4 games over 500 and just a game back of St. Louis and Milwaukee at this time.
And if you talk about some of the favorites for maybe National League Manager of the Year, Clint Hurdle's going to be in that discussion.
Has to be.
Kirk Gibson.
Ron Renicky.
Swing and a miss, and he strikes him out. But not before the Brewers pick up a couple more hits and another run. They lead at 2-1 as we head to the bottom of the second. Score of 2-1. Time now for our Geico quote of the day, and it comes from Doug Melvin, the Brewers GM. He said he talked to K-Rod last night, and he said he was anxious to join the club and meet us in Colorado. He goes, I talked to John Axford last night to let him know to not get nervous about it. I'm not going to get involved with the roles at this time. When you're a championship club, you need to have everybody pulling together. Melvin talking about the acquisition of K-Rod, Francisco Rodriguez. Will be in there along with Axford, which should provide a pretty nice 1-2 punch.
It should be a very good 1-2 punch. They also have some more experience in their bullpen as far as guys that have closed games at the major league level. High heat running in. We talked about Rodriguez, 291 and 570, but LaTroy Hawkins, Saito was a closer for the Dodgers, but it's the young kid, John Axford, that is the guy that comes in to do the job, and he's been pretty good through this short time frame. 48, I believe, of 57 in his career now as a closer for the Milwaukee Brewers.
Ty Wigington at the plate, tied for the lead among National League third basemen in home runs with 13.
How good is Francisco Rodriguez? Well, this is where you have the swing on. Is he going to beat it? Yep, he will.
It's going to be a base hit for Wigington.
Good hustle by Ty. They had shortstop Betancourt well over to pull. Even though Weeks was up the middle, he had to go over on the other side of shortstop to get the baseball. Well, K-Rod, all-time saves leaders in a single season. Bobby Thigpen had in 1990 had 57. K-Rod 62 in 2008 with the Angels. Gagne at 55, Smoltz 55, Hoffman, Myers, and Rivera all at 53. So K-Rod is in the elite group of guys as far as saves in a season.
Here's Ian Stewart as he looks at a first pitch strike. And to finish up on Rodriguez, he's a guy that even though his velocity's dropped from the mid-90s to the lower 90s, he's been more effective with his changeup. He's still striking out an average more than one guy an inning.
Absolutely, because of the breaking ball, because of the changeup, his ability to locate his fastball. He's got to pitch it a little bit.
Ian Stewart, as we'd mentioned before, 4 for 19 since being called up from AAA Colorado Springs. And though it shows a 106 average on the board, still much better than the 064 he had when he was called up. He had a rough start to the season. And he's got great numbers against Gallardo, 4 for 8 with a pair of homers.
Well, and part of his, and I'm not making excuses for his start, but he really didn't play in spring training. And he came back and made 5 starts. Oh, I'm ready to go. And everybody else getting 20 games of experience, getting 40 to 60 at bats. He was trying to do it on 20. He wasn't ready to play.
Injured his knee in a collision with Troy Tulowitzki in the very first inning of the first spring training game.
It's good to see him back in a Rockies uniform here in Colorado. Now just go out and perform like the Ian Stewart everybody knows and has learned to love over the course of the years with the 20 home runs, those kind of things. See what he's done against Milwaukee in 17 games. A lot of damage, near 300 average, 5 home runs, 7 RBIs.
And if you get too focused on his offensive numbers, it's easy to forget how good he is defensively. 2-2 pitch, fouls that one off.
It's a matter of finding a comfort zone, and Renee Latchman as a hitting coach is kind of more the grandfather approach in Colorado Springs. It's the arm around the shoulder, and let's try this, let's experiment a little bit with this. It worked with Dexter Fowler a year ago. They're hoping it worked with Ian Stewart, and he got back here to the big leagues.
Here's the 2-2 pitch. Slow grounder to third. Throw to first. Just got him. So Wigington will move up to second base, and there's one away.
Looking off of the end of the bat, you got a third baseman playing deep. McGee travels very quickly to the baseball, and then a snap throw to first. This was extremely close play at first base. The naked eye would tell you maybe safe. This will tell you the right call. That was the wrong one.
So now you have 1 out, a runner at second, and Chris Iannetta at the plate. Slider misses for a ball. Foul down the right field line. Iannetta hitting .201 against right-handers this season, .250 against lefties. Checks his swing. It'll roll to fielder. He'll flip it over to Gallardo. And there's 2 away as Wigington moves over to third base. All season long, join us for Toyota Talk. Text your comments during the game and see what you and your fellow Rockies fans have in their mind about their favorite team. Text Toyota followed by a space and then your comment to 720-720. You can follow everyone's comments live during the 6th inning and the entire Toyota postgame show. Standard message and data rates may apply. Yeah, little brother wants the cotton candy. He wants all of it.
He's not sharing. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, hand it over. And that is with a single up the middle. Wigington will score, and it's a 2-2 ball game.
Return the favor to Mr. Gallardo because he was the one that hit the double and drove in a run. in the bottom or top half of the second inning. Now Ubaldo with 2 outs and a runner in scoring position picks up his 3rd RBI. Breaking ball, cement mixing slider. In other words, not a lot of break to it, just kind of hanging and reduced velocity. And Ubaldo took advantage of it, took it right back up the middle.
You call it a cement mixing slider?
Just kind of coming at you, just turning really slow, and it's not a whole lot of movement.
Like a cement truck.
You're right.
Gotcha.
There you go.
Here's Ryan Spilborghs, who had a solo home run in the first. It hit the foul pole down the left field line.
Garrett's checked Ed Hickox's ability to call strikes on about 5 fastballs that either been on the inner half of the plate or away from hitters, not getting the corners right now.
On the second base. We'll flip it over to Betancourt for the final out of the inning. But the Rockies pick up a pair of hits, and Ubaldo Jimenez drives in a run to tie the ball game at 2. Well, each team counterpunching. Brewers scored 1 in the top of the first. Rockies responded with 1 in the bottom of the first. Brewers with a run in the top of the second. Rockies responded with 1 in the bottom of the second. So we got a 2-2 ball game as Nyjer Morgan will lead things off for the Brewers here in the top half of the third. Now, George, I'm not 100% sure if this is Nyjer Morgan or his alter ego, Tony Plush. He has created an alter ego, and it's become a big thing in Milwaukee. Tony Plush even has his own Twitter account. So Nyjer Morgan has information he'll put out, and Tony Plush has information that he'll put out.
Yeah.
And I was reading some of the tweets today, and I know one of them, he was in the desert, had a vision from the great mustache that told him A-Rod was coming. Now he understands that the mustache, it was a K, not an A, that K-Rod was coming. So,
okay. I got you.
I want a foul tip. We'll have more on Tony Plush as the series goes on. Morgan with 1 to right center field. This one will drop for a base hit. And then the ball comes loose. Morgan breaks for second base, and he'll be safe. Smith slipped initially when he got the baseball, and then the ball came out of his glove. So they're going to call it a single and an error on Seth Smith.
Yeah, and a shame for this. A lot of speed involved here with the glove. See, Seth slipped. And when he slipped in the outfield, that caused the ball to get away from him. Dug up a little bit of turf from the time he grabbed the baseball. The speed of Morgan got him into second base. Second error of the season on Seth Smith.
We got a great deal of rain earlier in the day. And of course, while the tarp covered the infield and it's in spectacular condition, a little wetter conditions in the outfield. So that brings up Ryan Braun, who doubled back in the first inning. Then later scored on a Prince Fielder double. Inetta out to talk to Jimenez. Braun playing in his first game since July 3rd. Then had a calf injury, which left him out of the lineup for the last 8 games going into the All-Star break, and also caused him to miss the All-Star game. The 2-2 pitch. Here's the 1-1 pitch. Fouled off. The double that Braun had in the first inning extended his hitting streak to 23 games, which is the 3rd longest in franchise history, behind Dave May, who had a 24-game hit streak in 1973, and the legendary Paul Molitor, who had a 39-game hit streak in 1987.
Well, that was my last active year as a player in '87. I remember Paul Molitor going after the record. Swung the bat extremely well. There wasn't any bunt singles, I'll tell you that.
Just one to center field. Spilborghs will make the catch, and Morgan will hold up at second base.
How about this? This is pretty good.
We've got some Chinese food up here from the new truck Walk in the Park. Food truck will be it's available for visuals from 2 to 3 on Thursday, July 14th, and prior to the game against Milwaukee here. Is it good?
I'm eating. Yeah, it's really good.
What do we got?
I don't know.
We had egg rolls earlier. George ate them all.
I offered it to you. You said no, and it was gone.
You pointed while I was talking, and then while I was still talking,
you shook your head
took the egg roll back.
It was over.
Well, there's a. I'm not going to get it right now. I can't talk and eat at the same time. You're doing a stellar job.
Well, this is perfect.
They're going to intentionally walk Prince Fielder, which will put runners at first and second for Corey Hart.
Hart lasted bat, really chased a bad split finger down and in, and was able to strike him out. They hope to have that same accomplishment with one out, or get a ball on the ground and turn a double play.
So Fielder at first. George Frazier enjoying his Asian noodles from the Walk in the Park food truck. They've got Asian noodle bowls and egg rolls. You've had the egg roll was good.
Yes, it was very good.
And he's halfway through that.
Not really. No.
Oh yeah, really.
No, we're going to share.
I got one of my own right here.
Now we're looking for the ground ball because of Prince Fielder. Now he's going to have a larger lead at first with the runner out at second, but it still increases the ability to pull it off.
And Corey Hart has kind of gone the way of the Brewers. He's hit .298 at home, .238 on the road. 8 of his 10 home runs this season have come in Milwaukee. The Brewers have been a Jekyll and Hyde team with their home and away record. It's the 1-0 pitch. This one grounded to Tulowitzki. Over to Ellis for one. Toward first. Double play. We go to the bottom of the third. We're all tied up at 2. Now it's licensed to travel throughout Denver County, but it'll be parked along the Coors Field outfield concourse between the Buckaroos. There's a ground ball to third. Throw to first will get Ellis for 1 out. It'll be parked between the Buckaroos concession stand and section 150 during all Rockies games. So they're bringing the truck right in the ballpark.
Yeah. Do they have any fried rice?
You know what? It's not that far a walk, George. All you got to do is go down the left field line here, and you can find out.
No, we'll find somebody to go. See if they've got any fried rice. I want to see. Do you get any fried rice?
Where's Mark Stout? Mark Stout is out wandering the ballpark tonight. Mark Stout should be in there making something.
No, he should.
Helton with a foul ball down the left field line. Helton with a fly out to center back in the first. And if you're wondering if the food in the truck is good, George Frazier has the answer.
It is very, very good. Stop by. It's in the, as we mentioned, down the left field line.
Helton 5 for 14 career-wise against Gallardo. It's a .357 average.
Got a fastball in his hands in his last at bat. Excuse me, in his last at bat. Got a fastball on a 2-2 count and on his hands and hit a shallow fly ball into center field. His numbers through his career have been very good.
On the right side past fielder, that'll be a base hit for Helton. This replay brought to you by the Colorado Lottery. Now through July 31st, you can replay every non-winning scratch ticket in the second chance drawing at ColoradoLottery.com. Troy Tulowitzki with a double in his first at bat of the game that got past Corey Hart. And now Tulowitzki with a chance to do some damage here with Helton at first and 1 away. The 0-1 pitch from Gallardo. And it's 1-1. And of course, Troy Tulowitzki was edged out back in 2007 by Ryan Braun for Rookie of the Year. And part of that not only had to do with the way that Ryan Braun had played that year, but the fact that Milwaukee had come out of the gates hot, were having a great season, creating a lot of national attention, and therefore Ryan Braun caught a lot of attention as well. And popped up and caught by Weeks, and that's the second out.
Well, Jack Zarincic, who is now the general manager of the Seattle Mariners, at the time was the scouting director for Milwaukee, and it came down to a choice: is it Tulowitzki or Braun? Both are all-stars, both obviously great players at the major league level.
And it was one of the closest votes ever. Braun got 128 points, Tulowitzki 126. Braun had batted .324, 34 home runs, drove in 97 runs. Tulowitzki hit .291, 24 homers, drove in 99 runs. Of course, Tulowitzki ended up in a better position as the Rockies went to the World Series that year against the Boston Red Sox. And it was the collapse by Milwaukee at the end of the season that helped get the Rockies in a position to face the Padres. In that game 163. Seth Smith looking for his first career hit against Gallardo. Gallardo behind in the count 2-0. Make it 3-0.
Try to overthrow the fastball, put a bunch of run and fade to it. It'll get away from that left-handed hitter. Didn't have very good command of his pitch.
The 3-0 pitch. And there's a base hit into right field. Helton will hold up at second. And the Rockies have 2 on with 2 out.
Fastball, but in a hitter's count. Seth, a very good low ball hitter, just out of the reach of Ricky Weeks at second base. Helton only able to advance into scoring position at second base. Ball hit extremely hard into the outfield.
So here's Ty Wigginton. Singled and scored a run in the second inning. Rockies with 6 hits so far in this ball game. It's a fly ball to right field. Holt goes back and makes the catch. We head to the top of the 4th inning. We're tied at 2. Between the Rockies and the Brewers. Today's minor league report is presented by Suzuki Auto's all-wheel drive lineup. Suzuki, the power of engineering. And you take a look at the Colorado Springs Sky Sox and the leaders in certain categories for them. Of course, Greg Reynolds, we've seen him a couple of times this season at the major league level.
Jim Miller, an all-star with the AAA All-Star game that was recently played, was traded to Baltimore for Rodrigo Lopez and then has come back here.
And if you're wondering about Dexter Fowler, playing well, especially as of late for the Springs, but there's no timetable as to when they're going to bring him back. They want to make sure that he's all set to go. Casey McGee leading things off for the Brewers here in the top half of the 4th. McGee grounded out to third back in the second inning.
April started out, and I mentioned his year Brewers and the numbers he was able to put up: 23 home runs, 104 RBIs. He started the year out this year in a similar fashion. In April, he was 280, 2 home runs and 11 RBIs, and since then just 3 home runs, 25 RBIs, and an average of 201.
A 3-1 pitch, fouled back, full count.
Very strong man with an awful lot of power. You struggle at times. You have to figure out a way to regain and make the adjustments to the pitcher.
Well, he thought he drew a walk, but he struck out. He was almost to first base, and then he saw the ball start going around the horn. He goes, maybe that wasn't a ball.
Well, obviously you hate to do this to an umpire because it can come back to bite you later on. Fastball that did catch the strike zone on the Ford strike zone. He thought it was a little bit low and started up the first base line. Did it catch enough of the plate there? Absolutely.
With one out, that'll bring up Yuniesky Betancourt. I'll tell you, McGee almost had me fooled. He was so far up the line.
You thought he was on his way, huh?
Yeah. Betancourt scored in the second inning on a single by Gallardo. Fly ball to right field here. Seth Smith has it, and there's 2 away. All season long, join us for Toyota Talk. Text your comments during the game and see what you and fellow Rockies fans have in their mind about their favorite team. Text Toyota followed by a space and then your comment to 720-720. You can follow everyone's comments live during the 6th inning and the entire Toyota postgame show. Standard message and data rates may apply. There's a Rockies fan mixed in with a couple Brewers sitting behind him. I don't think he's happy about it.
You know what I'd like to ask the fans tonight? Do you like the decision by Bud Selig that the winning team has the home field advantage for the World Series?
All right. What are your thoughts on it?
I don't like it.
Because
there's guys playing in the game that have no shot. Does it really mean as much to them as it does to the first place Giants or second place Brave players or Roy Halladay of the Philadelphia Phillies as it does to somebody that's on because he has to be there on a bad team?
1-1 the count to Lucroy. Do you think the All-Star game needs any sort of motivation?
No.
Like home field advantage for the World Series, or is the game in and of itself enough?
And the other part of it is how many stars were selected this year that came out of it?
84 ended up.
How many?
84 could call themselves All-Stars this year.
16 who didn't play.
Right.
You know, that's crazy.
There's one of them, Troy Tulowitzki, who did play and did start for the National League. Tulowitzki, the only representative of the Rockies this season. It was interesting last night. I was watching you get the 3-1 pitch. This one to the right side. Ellis has it. Throw to Helton, and he's out. We'll go to the bottom of the 4th. All knotted up at 2. Now for our AT&T trivia question. 5 players have won the All-Star Game MVP and League MVP in the same season. Can you name them? dwell on that one for a little bit, as Ian Stewart will start things off for the Rockies here in the bottom of the fourth. He'll be followed by Chris Iannetta and Ubaldo Jimenez. Ian Stewart grounded out to third back in the second inning. The 0-1 pitch. Goes in for a ball. He has had a multi-hit game since getting called back up, and that was against the Nationals on July 10th when he went 2 for 3. That one fouled back.
Hey, bring your family out to the ballpark with the Coca-Cola Value Pack, available July 18th through the 21st. It's a great way because you get 4 tickets, 4 dogs, Cokes, more. And it's available again July 18th through the 21st. Purchase them at Coors Field or 1-800-388-ROCKS or go to ColoradoRockies.com. There you go, Stu.
Run the right center gap. Stewart digging for second base. Here's the throw, and he's going to be in easily with a stand-up double.
Well, obviously, happy sight to see. Ball down and away from him, not on the inner half. Got started a little early, drove this ball into right center field, and then really showed good speed between first and second. He just took away any shot at all for a play at second when this game tied 2-2 in the fourth.
Chris Iannetta looks at a curveball for strike one. Iannetta grounded out to first back in the second. The 0-1 pitch. The 1-1 pitch. Ball 2. Safe at second. Safe and secure. New York Life. Ian Stewart with a double, and the Rockies have had multiple hits through the first 3 innings of this ball game. They had 2 in the first, 2 in the second, 2 in the third. Swing and a miss there by Iannetta makes it 2-2.
One of the few curveballs that Gallardo has thrown with pretty good command down and away. He'd thrown the hanger to Spielborgs that ended up getting some yellow paint on it down the left field line.
We do have a new umpire in this ball game as Iannetta loops one towards right field. This one will drop for a hit. Ian Stewart motoring home. Corey Hart with the throw, but it will not be in time as the Rockies take a 3-2 lead and Iannetta moves into second base.
Breaking ball again away from him, right off of the end of the bat. Iannetta's strength is what puts this ball out of the reach of Weeks, dumped into right field. Stewart, we're paying attention to Richie Dower, who's sitting the entire way to the plate. And then the throw from Corey Hart was not there in time. Iannetta moved up when he missed his cutoff man, Prince Fielder.
Brings up Jimenez, who has an RBI single, lays down a bunt here. Gallardo will go to first base for the out as Iannetta moves up to third base.
Good fundamental baseball by Ubaldo Jimenez. And now up to Ryan Spielborgs to get this run across. 33 RBIs now for Iannetta. That's 4th among Major League catchers. McCann leads it with 50.
And I mentioned we do have a new umpire as Ryan Spielborgs comes to the plate. Corey Blazer is taking over at second base now.
Corey lives here in the Denver area, so he's probably somebody that may have not been sent out yet to go to work. He may have been on vacation, and they called him at home and said, hey, guess what? Head to Coors Field and do it quickly. Nice job by Corey Blazer to get here.
Brian O'Nora left the game at the midway point of the first inning. So they've been using a 3-man umpiring crew up until this point. Here's the 0-1 pitch. That went down in the dirt. Time now for the Coors Light Cold Hard Blast. We take you back to the first inning. Ryan Spilborghs with his 3rd home run of the season, a leadoff home run. At that point, it made it a 1-1 ball game. Rockies now leading at 3-2 here in the bottom of the 4th. Iannetta at 3rd. The count 1-1 to Spilborghs. Infield playing in close. 2-1 pitch. This one right back up the middle. It's an RBI single. Iannetta will score. And the Rockies have a 4-2 lead.
Iannetta dumped the curveball into right field. He ends up being advanced by Jimenez, and then everything paid off on a high fastball to Ryan Spilborghs, who drove this ball right back up the middle. Spilly with 17 RBIs now. Coming through with a big hit to put the Rockies on top by 2 now, 4-2. Prince Fielder's going to need glasses that the clouds have disappeared, and then all of a sudden they pop back open as sunlight eating him up at first base.
In fact, the only spot there is sunlight on the entire playing surface right now is right at first base. In fact, if you look at Ryan Spilborghs over at first, you can see he's looking into the sun, as is Ed Rapuano. So Fielder waiting by the dugout for a pair of sunglasses. Wells Fargo customers, get your 2-for-1 Rockies tickets today by going to wellsfargo.com/Rockies. Not a customer? See a Wells Fargo banker today for details. Wells Fargo Bank, member FDIC. It was actually a fan behind home plate waving sunglasses. He goes, yeah, that's what he's going to do. He just took a fan's sunglasses out of the seat, and he's going to wear those.
Yeah, and you're not getting them back if I really like them.
I hope they're not prescription.
That'd be really good, wouldn't it?
That is the first time I've ever seen that.
Yeah, me too.
Somebody in the seat says, you know what, I have a pair, and he goes, you know what, I'll take them.
In a bright yellow.
And we'll see how those work out for Fielder. Here's Mark Ellis. There goes the runner. Spilborghs into second base. Weeks can't handle the throw, and he's safe.
Second stolen base for Ryan Spilborghs on the season. A very good jump off Gallardo. If the throw a little better, though, or if Weeks would have been able to handle the throw, I think they may have had a shot at Ryan Spilborghs. The ball beat him there just on a short hop, and Weeks couldn't hang on to it. Another Rocky in scoring position.
Here's the 1-0 pitch to Ellis. That one's a strike. Well, Prince Fielder wearing sunglasses from a fan that's sitting in the front row near the Brewers dugout. Swing and a miss by Ellis. Apparently the equipment manager for the Brewers didn't act fast enough, and he was tired of waiting.
Well, he started getting booed a little bit. He started to get booed, and I think that's why he did it. He just said, you know what, I'm going to have the fans. I'm going to let them not be mad at me, and I'll wear their glasses and maybe get a few cheers out of this deal.
Well, I saw at least 3 people holding up. Look at him now. You don't think he's on there? He's texting Toyota Talk to let us know that his sunglasses are in play. And his friend next to him, she's on the phone. You wouldn't believe it. We're on TV. It's the craziest thing. Prince Fielder is wearing his glasses.
What'd she say?
Prince Fielder is wearing his glasses. As a 2-2 count. They've become celebrities wherever they live, because he's now the guy that gave Prince Fielder the glasses. I don't know as they fit him great, but they're doing the job. They're blocking the sun.
There's not any sun anymore. It's out of the way now.
Fly ball shallow center field. This one's going to drop. They're waving Spielborg's home. There'll be no throw, and the Rockies have a 5-2 lead.
Eighth RBI after a great weekend against the Kansas City Royals. Hard slider down and away. The second ball that has been dumped into the outfield. Iannetta did much of the same. This time Spielborg's benefited. He comes around to score. And Ellis ends up at first base, and you're in the heart of the order of the Rockies.
With that hit, every starter in the Rockies lineup has a hit tonight, and Ellis now has 8 runs driven in 4 games here at Coors Field. And that'll bring up Todd Helton. The only out in the inning came on a sacrifice bunt by Ubaldo Jimenez. Ian Stewart doubled. Iannetta drove him in with a single. Spielborgs drove in Iannetta with a single. And then Ellis drove in Spielborgs with a single. The 0-1 pitch. Strike 0-2. You know things are going well when everybody gets a hit, and one of the guys that has an RBI single is your pitcher, Ubaldo Jimenez. Here's the 0-2 pitch. Hard down the right field line, and they're going to call this one foul. Ellis was flying too. He would have scored on that one.
Yeah, well, anytime a ball gets down into this corner, Ed Rapuano standing right on the line in foul territory was right on top of it.
We'll keep an eye on Ellis over at first base.
7 stolen bases in a Oakland uniform, 1 so far in the Rocky uniform. He's been caught twice all year.
There's a ball to Helton. Helton having a great July so far, hitting .419. 3rd best in the National League behind Schierholtz and Bonifacio. He's been great from the get-go this season. A 1-2 pitch. There's a strike, and he's caught looking.
Not happy with the call either. We're on a 4th strike zone where this ball ended up. You can see maybe why Helton was a little disgusted. Was it too far off the plate? To Todd Helton, who knows the strike zone to be 18 inches, felt that was 19.5.
That'll bring up Troy Tulowitzki, who doubled in the 1st and popped it up down the right field line in the 3rd. Fouls that one off down the right field line. The 0-1 pitch.
The next green games are this Sunday and Monday. Buy a green pack and help the Rockies plant some trees. That's right. $24 green packs available July 17th and 18th.
Here's the 1-1 pitch. This one to left center field. This one is going to drop in the gap. Ellis headed for third. Rich Dowell waving him home. He's going to come in to score. It's a stand-up double for Tulowitzki, and the Rockies lead the ball game 6-2.
Couple of blue hits, Iannetta and Ellis. The rest have been hard. Ryan Spilborghs with the shot up the middle. Ian Stewart with a gap shot. Now Tulowitzki with a gap shot in left center field on a fastball right down the middle of the plate. Tulowitzki turned on it and did it in a hurry. Ball shot out into left field. It made it very easy for Ellis to come around third base. Not a whole lot of direction needed here. And that ball got to the deepest part. It was go to the house and put the 6th tally on the board.
The Brewers on the phone to the bullpen. Seth Smith, the 8th batter the Rockies have sent to the plate this inning.
Now, this is your all-star, your silver slugger. The last thing you want to do is leave him out there for a high pitch count and a beating. It's 6-2, the most runs given up this year in a start, 6 by Gallardo. He's at 84 pitches, as I mentioned, 54 for strikes, and he's losing 6-2 in the bottom of the 4th.
Smith is 1 for 2, had a single in the 3rd. That pitch in the dirt.
As it stands now, the Rockies hold on to win this ball game. As Estrada warms up, Gallardo will never have won a ball game against the Rockies. He's 0-3 coming into this game.
Coors Field has been a tough place for him to pitch. And that trend has continued this evening. Fouled on the left field line. So the count now 1-2 to Smith.
You think they took those eggplant things, or those egg rolls, is that what they're called? Do you think they took them by the radio booth so they could advertise for them too? I better go down there and check in between innings. What do you think?
I think you should. Yeah. Here's the 1-2 pitch. A grounder to fielder off his glove. Smith will be safe at first.
If they give him an error, that'll be his 10th. They may not, because of Seth Smith's speed. Gallardo not covering the bag at first.
Tulowitzki moves up to third base. It'll be an error on Prince Fielder.
Yeah, that's his 10th. That's a lot for a first baseman.
Well, now everybody in the infield for the Brewers has double-digit errors this season, because Weeks has 12, Betancourt has 10, and McGee has 13.
10 errors lead all of first basemen in the game.
So now you've got runners at the corner, 2 outs. And Ty Wigington at the plate, who singled in the 2nd and scored a run. And then flew out to right in the 3rd. I don't think he's going to keep those shades as his lucky shades. I think he's going to return those to the fan he got them from. Foul ball down the right side. The fan right there in the white shirt offered up his sunglasses to Prince Fielder when Prince Fielder couldn't find any on the bench. Fielder accepted his offer, and that's the sunglasses he's wearing on his hat right now.
The reason they're trying to get through this inning without Estrada coming into it, not any more damages. Gallardo is to lead off the next inning, so you'd have to double switch your catchers or double switch somewhere in your lineup to buy some innings out of your bullpen. You'd love to see him try to get the third out here, and he's got a 0-2 count on Wiggin.
This is with that one, count 1-2. Rockies have 5 hits in the inning. They've scored 4 runs and lead it 6-2. Estrada looks like he's pretty much ready to go. Gallardo facing his 9th batter of the inning. Swing and a miss, and he strikes out Wigington. But the damage has been done as the Rockies put 4 more on the board. They lead it by 4. Because Prince Fielder actually exited the field, went to the far side of the dugout, and that guy was thinking, am I actually going to get those back? So now he's a bit of a celebrity down there after loaning up his goggles for Prince Fielder to use in the bottom half of that 4th inning. And it was a 4th inning that worked out very well for the Rockies as they scored 4 runs. And surprisingly, George, Gallardo up to bat here in the 5th inning.
Yeah, it surprised me a little bit too, unless he came in the dugout and told him, look, it's 6-2, don't blow up the bullpen. Let me try to get a couple more innings out of this. Save our bench. Maybe there is a Estrada may come in anyway. But save the bench, and if you get back into this thing, then you'll have a full complement of pinch hitters late in the ball game.
One hopper to Tulowitzki, and he's out. Well, it's time now to answer our AT&T trivia question. We told you before 5 players have won the All-Star Game MVP and League MVP in the same season. Can you name them? And the answer is Maury Wills, Willie McCovey, Steve Garvey, Roger Clemens, and Cal Ripken. You played, George, against maybe 3 of those guys?
Yeah, I think so. Let me see the list again. Let me look at this.
Ripken, did you play?
McCovey, yes. Garvey, yes. Clemens, yes. And Ripken, yes.
So Wills was the only one before your time.
Yeah. He still works in baseball.
Actually, in '62, Maury Wills shared the All-Star MVP with Leon Wagner. Who George also did not play against.
No, I did not.
It's the 0-1 pitch to Weeks. Ubaldo Jimenez had a little bit of a shaky start, gave up a pair of doubles in the 1st inning and a run. Gave up a pair of hits in the second. But over the last 2 1/3 has given up just a hit. The 2-1 pitch to Weeks. It's 3-1. He bounces that one in the dirt. What does your catcher say to you at this point, George?
Throw the ball over the plate. Stick with me on what we're calling here. Don't get down. You got to make sure we're trying to do what we're trying to do here. 3-1 count. The team just put 4 on the board. Don't go out there and we'll start walking somebody or falling behind. Let's have a quick inning and attack the strike zone. You got a 4-run lead. Challenge hitters.
The 3-1 pitch. Foul, 3-2. See, I really think those guys need gloves.
Well, it'd help them, I'm sure.
See, that kid's got a glove. Now he's got a ball. They made a fan happy there. 3-2 pitch. And he walked it. So Ricky Weeks is aboard with 1 out, and that'll bring up Niger Morgan, who singled back in the 3rd and then advanced on an error by Seth Smith.
Well, we said there was a lot of scouts here at the ballpark. That's Jim Fregosi Sr. right back here. One of the top men for the Atlanta Braves. Bob Johnson, who's an advanced scout now. Pat Jones sitting right here is a guy that's with the Kansas City Royals, lives in the Denver area, used to work for the Rockies. And straight across here, we're all making fun of him. The guy in the yellow shirt right here, kind of green, getting a drink. That's Jim Fregosi Jr. So we have a father-son tandem, except he works for the Philadelphia Phillies.
Liner right to Horton. That'll be a double play as he steps on first base. Weeks was on his way to second. That'll take care of business. We head to the bottom of the 5th at 6-2. .470 on Facebook and Twitter for details on how to win free tolls. The Rockies starting a 4-game series with Milwaukee, and then after that they'll welcome in the Atlanta Braves for a 4-game series. A little chance of redemption for the Rockies, who had a tough series in Atlanta just before the All-Star break. Marco Estrada now on the hill for the Milwaukee Brewers.
Yeah, and he's making his 26th appearance on the season. 2-6 record, 471 earned run average. The opposition's hit 249 against him with 8 home runs.
Well, Estrada got touched up the last time he took the hill. It was last Saturday against Cincinnati. He took the loss in the 10th inning. Over an inning, gave up 6 hits, 5 runs, only 2 of them earned, and gave up a home run. Now he comes into this ball game with the Brewers trailing 6-2. Ian Stewart will lead things off. The leadoff man for the Rockies has reached and scored in 3 of the 4 innings in this ball game so far, including Ian Stewart, who started off that last inning with a double and then scored on a Chris Iannetta RBI single. He looks at a first pitch strike from Estrada. Fouled back. Oh, and 2 the count now to Stewart. Swing and a miss by Stewart. Foul tip. Last shot. Now someone has a gold Todd Helton jersey on. I got to figure out what the front of that jersey looks like, because it almost looks like a Brewers jersey, but it says Helton on the back of it. He's got his number 17.
Is there ever any all-star like that?
That's what I'm thinking. It's got to be an all-star jersey.
Stout, what are you doing?
0-2 pitch, swing and a miss, and Ian Stewart strikes out. Well, thank you to all of our fans that are following us on Facebook and Twitter. We want to hear from you. Tell us what your predictions are for the second half of the baseball season. You can find us on Facebook at Root Sports RM and on Twitter at Root_Sports_RM. National League All-Star jersey.
There you go.
Iannetta with a fly ball to shallow right field. Hart comes in and puts it away for the second out of the inning. This replay brought to you by the Colorado Lottery. Now through July 31st, you can replay every non-winning scratch ticket in a second chance drawing at coloradolottery.com. Back in the second inning, Ubaldo Jimenez with an RBI single back up the middle that drove in Wigington. At the time, it made it a 2-2 ball game. Jimenez laid down a sac bunt in the 4th. And now here he is in the bottom of the 5th, looking at a first pitch strike. That one fouled back. Pizza. Just having trouble with that cheese. It's hot.
It's hot. Somebody get the coat. Get the coat.
This one fouled on the right field line.
Mama, I know I'm too young. Give me your beer. It's burning on the roof of my mouth. It's not good.
Yeah.
Now that's
break it into sections.
Yeah, there you go.
Just drop it in there. Perfect. She's already burned the roof of her mouth, so that task is done with. So now she can just get back to. Boy, there are some cheese problems there. Well, the Rockies having no trouble with the cheese heads today. 6-2 lead. Ubaldo Jimenez strikes out. We head to the top of the 6th. Rockies lead at 6-2. Fast Cash Sideline Report brought to you by Fast Cash Gold Centers, where you'll always get 40% more for your gold. Mark?
All right, Tom, George, let's talk about the Rockies all-star, Troy Tulowitzki. Everybody knows about his offensive numbers. Let's talk about defense. He stays healthy this year. He'll set career highs in chances and putouts. The last 2 years, he's come in second in the NL in putouts. Even last year, he was 10 behind Ian Desmond, the Washington Nationals shortstop, who played 27 more games than him. So this year, he's got 170 here at the break. And, George, I was thinking about this. 300 putouts by a shortstop. That's been done in the National League once since 1987. And it's by Nathy Perez in 2000. And a guy you know, Ozzie Smith, did it once in his career. So 300 putouts, and Tulo should get there. Quite a feat for a shortstop.
That is quite a few, Mark. 98 double plays turned by the Rockies, too. I know all of those not at second and short, but the majority have been, and Tulowitzki's been involved in those, too. So it's been leading the league there also. Now this play on a ball, fly ball to right field. Long run for Seth Smith to get there. But you go as hard as you can to the baseball, and you call off the middle infielder. I think Mark Ellis heard footsteps, watch about sees field off of the baseball, and Smith had stopped because there was confusion between the two players on who was going to catch the baseball. You just hope in a 6-2 game and Ubaldo cruising, it doesn't come back to haunt Ubaldo.
Now you got to deal with Prince Fielder with one on, nobody out. Fielder doubled and drove in a run back in the first, then was intentionally walked in the third. He's behind 0-2. Down in front.
Somebody got in the way again.
Yeah, they're making their way. There's no time to leave now. Still got a ball game here, people. Yeah, it's okay. I know you're sorry, but please move.
Is that Charlie? I think that's Charlie. Where did he buy that ticket, or did he just like move in? That's a great shot, though. I like it. Good work, Charlie. Stay still, Charlie. Don't move now.
There's the 1-2 pitch, ball 2. Count now even to Fielder.
That's that new camera, the RF camera, that allows it to be live to you at home and yet mobile throughout the ballpark. It's a really neat device that we use as the pitcher comes in out of the bullpen. We bring that live to you. It's a wireless mic. It's a wireless camera. There's no cables attached to it.
Well, that's what wireless means,
The only cable guy, kind of Larry the Cable Guy, attached to it's Charlie.
Yeah, you gave it away with wireless. We know.
Well, you know, there's some people still from where I'm from. Mark Stout's down there lounging with his suit on. Did you kick the guy out of the seat, Stout?
3-2 pitch fouled off. So Jimenez was ahead 0-2 on Fielder. Now the count full. Beautiful sunset tonight. We had rain earlier in the day, but it cleared out. They pulled the tarp off the field just about 30 minutes before the game started. 71 degrees at first pitch. This one's a high fly ball to right field. Seth Smith underneath it, puts it away for the first down of the inning.
Well, the first 10,000 to come to the game on next Tuesday, they're going to receive a Hebrew National hot dog, $1 hot dog coupon. So make sure you get out to the ballpark when the Atlanta Braves are in town next Tuesday, July the 19th.
And you saw the fan looking at Prince Fielder as he went to the dugout. They have a common bond now that they've shared sunglasses. I don't know if he's hoping for some sort of Derek Jeter deal or what the deal is there. In the meantime, Bob Apodaca has made his way. He's not going to get a luxury suite or anything for that. If I come out to Milwaukee, you're going to help me out?
No.
I think the friendship has already ended.
It ended when I gave the glasses back.
So Bob Apodaca finishes his conversation with Jimenez. Corey Hart steps in 0 for 2 tonight, struck out, hit into a double play. And Jimenez delivers a first pitch ball and a fastball that misses. Somebody said Cargo threw him a ball. Now they're waiting for Cargo to come back. And Ian Stewart with an RBI single tonight. You're the man, Frazier.
Where'd you read that?
Nate and EM from Highlands Ranch.
Really?
Yeah, they said you're the man.
Send you the 100. Have a little fun.
Yeah, some people agree All-Stars shouldn't have anything to do with deciding home field advantage. It's a grounder to third. Ian Stewart scoops it up, throws it to second for one, throw to first, not in time.
I tell you what, tough play by Stewart to come up on the short hop and make a very strong snap throw to try to get Braun. Now Braun's got speed, 19 stolen bases on the year. He can run. So he was able to get into Mark Ellis, but that short hop scoop by Stewart wasn't easy. Then a perfect feed over. But then Hart's speed just outran the throw of Mark Ellis.
That was a good call as he beat it out. Here's Casey McGee. Ball one. Home field advantage is huge in the World Series, as 20 of the last 25 teams that have won it have had home field advantage. I'm in the school of thought with some of you that whoever has the best overall record should get home field advantage. You should be rewarded as a team.
I agree. I think so. And I think there's a lot of things that, you know, the starting on Sunday and not participating makes it difficult. Obviously, you can't have injuries. 9 ground ball outs, 4 fly balls outs. Let's make that 10 ground ball outs for Ubaldo Jimenez through 6 innings. That's outstanding.
We go to the bottom of the 6th. 6-2 Rockies. Scored 4 runs and took a 6-2 lead over the Brewers as 9 batters went to the plate for Colorado. That is your XL Energy high efficiency inning. That is a beautiful sunset over the Rocky Mountains.
Yeah, they said they were going to have more rain during the game. Our weatherman did, Doug Marino. Seen him pop in.
He's not a weather guy. He's just a guy with a laptop computer.
He thinks he is.
That's beautiful. Ryan Spilborgh's leading things off for the Rockies here in the bottom half of the 6th. He's had a big night. Solo home run in the 1st to get things started, and an RBI single in the 4th. He scored a pair of runs. pitch. And efforts like that by Spilborghs and the team as a whole help out a guy like Carlos Gonzalez, who desperately wants to get back to the lineup, but you don't want to rush that wrist injury.
No, you can't rush the wrist injury, and Spilly's going to get him another hit.
That one eats up McGee. Spilly's on. That's a base hit. Third hit of the night for Ryan Spilborghs.
Yeah, this ball smacked pretty good, too. McGee really no chance at all. Bad hop right over the glove, a line shot. And there you go. I mean, that was the thing about it. That happened quickly.
You can see Carlos Gonzalez sitting on the bench. There's Mark Ellis, who's 1 for 3 with an RBI and a run scored. Hitting .302 as a Rocky. He can keep that up. Rockies are going to be happy with that. Spilborghs all smiles. 3 for 4 night.
Well, when you haven't had one in a while, yeah, I mean, it feels great to get on base that much.
So Estrada heading the count 0-2 on Ellis. Spilborghs with a healthy lead. Fouled back. The 4-run fourth has been the difference in this ball game so far. Giovanni Gallardo went 4 innings in this ball game, gave up 11 hits and 6 earned runs before he was pulled from the ball game. Close at first, and they're keeping a tight eye on Spilborghs.
Matt Belisle starting to throw in the Rockies bullpen. Jim Tracy thinking if we have to. And you see Bob Apodaca talking with Ubaldo now. He had 96 pitches through 6 innings. They'll turn it over to the bullpen. They could turn it over. Nice part about it, you're seeing a lot of smiles. You're seeing a little bit of body language. And Ubaldo trying to pick up another win at home and has pitched well.
The run support has helped. 6 runs, 12 hits for the Rockies. Ellis fouls that one off. The last time Ubaldo pitched against the Brewers, he had a tremendous outing. It was a complete game. Gave up only 2 hits. Unfortunately, one of those hits was off the bat of Ryan Braun that drove in a pair of runs. It was at that point he had a no-hitter going, but Braun drove it towards center field, and Dexter Fowler got a bad jump on the ball. The ball dropped in, and then they missed the cutoff guy, and Braun came in to score. Ubaldo only give up 1 more hit after that, but the Rockies lose the ball game by a score of 3-1.
Yeah, I mean, that was a tough thing to swallow there in Milwaukee because, as you mentioned, no hits for so long and not many in the ball game. And a pitch like that, come up empty-handed.
Here's the 2-2 pitch, fouled back. Ellis battling here against Estrada. Now the count is full. Estrada misses with the slider. Todd Helton waiting on deck. Helton's 1 for 3 tonight. The 3-2 pitch to Ellis. Fouled back. Nine pitch at bat so far for Ellis.
And typically with a veteran guy, when they get this many looks at you, unless you're just a dominant closer, they'll win the battle.
Who will win the battle?
The pitcher will not win the battle. The batter will. He's seen everything you've thrown, and they usually come up with a good hit, as he did here.
Hit to right field. Spilborghs was on the run. He's headed for third. Dyer waving around as the ball is loose. Spilborghs is going to come in to score. It's a 7-2 ball game, and that means tacos.
I'm not sure the Brewer outfield could have fielded the ball cleanly and still had a shot at Spilborghs. Those fans are happy the Rockies have a 5-run lead. They're also happy you're going to get tacos tomorrow between 4 and 6. That's the second time an outfielder has slipped, but I still think this ball was hit hard. I don't think Richie Dower had any intention of stopping Ryan Spilborghs as he came in to score the 7th run. A double for Mark Ellis.
And an RBI, his second RBI of the game. So with Ellis in scoring position at second base, here's Todd Helton. This one fouled, making a row deep down the left field line. There you see Ellis at second base. Estrada with the 1-1 pitch to Helton. It's a fly ball to left field. Braun has it, 2 away. We got tacos, fans. Don't forget to go to your participating Colorado Taco Bell locations tomorrow between 4 and 6 p.m. and get your Rockies taco special. Now that's a steal.
Well, you said 2 away, and I wanted to make sure it was just 1 away.
It's 1 away. It's 1 away.
It's my bookkeeping, not Tom's. It gets him screwed up. We share a book. We well, designed.
It was such a long at bat by Ellis. It just felt like there was 1 away already.
Exactly.
At first, I thought you meant we were 1 away from tacos. I'm like, no, we're not.
No, we're not. We're
on the
eating
board.
tacos. I'm all into that beef taco soft shell.
Yeah.
Just bring like 12 bags. I'll be good. Yeah, Doug. See, Doug's even like they're pretty good.
Tulowitzki, a pair of doubles tonight and an RBI. Everybody in the Rockies lineup has at least one hit. That's including Ubaldo Jimenez. Ryan Spilborg's leading the charge with 3. Mark Ellis has a pair. Tulowitzki has a pair. Jim Tracy's got to be happy with what he's seeing out of his offense.
The next step.
Now there's a ball.
The next step the offense needs to take is to be consistent on a nightly basis.
But Jim Tracy said earlier he didn't want the Rockies to feel like they've got to come out and make up 2 or 3 games in the first 3 or 4 games of this second half.
Absolutely.
You got 70 games after this. At the moment you're sitting 8.5 back. San Francisco and San Diego playing right now. They're scoreless in the 3rd inning. And you've also got to keep an eye on Arizona. The scoreboard watching becomes a little more intense this time of year. It's a strike to Tulowitzki. Colorado, though, very good after the All-Star break. If you look at the best post All-Star records since 2007, Colorado is 2nd, only behind the Philadelphia Phillies. The 2-1 pitch to Tulowitzki, swinging and a miss for a strike. Chicago, St. Louis, San Francisco also good. Last year, one of those examples is they were 7 back at the All-Star break, ended up in the postseason and won the World Series.
A lot of things played into the Giants, and they had to win big games, and they did it. They won here in September and mid-September and carried it on over to the end of the season to get into postseason and put a World Championship ring on.
Ellis at 3rd, 1 away, 2-2 the count to Tulowitzki. And he struck him out. So with 2 down, that'll bring up the right fielder, Seth Smith.
Hey, Sunday, the first 15,000 will receive a Rockies baseball cap courtesy of Coca-Cola. So if you haven't bought tickets for the July 17th ball game versus Milwaukee, do that now.
There's a Rockies cap. It's got the silver bill. I don't think I've seen that one before. He's showing his buddy how he would do it if he were at the plate. His buddy's got him the 2007 National League Championship t-shirt. So they got their Rockies gear. It's a 1-0 pitch. And he misses for ball 2. Smith singled back in the 3rd. A 2-0 pitch. Fouled back.
I like that hat. Where's the cowboy? Now, cowboy, that's a hat.
Yeah, that's a hat, all right.
It's got a little dust on it. I mean, that one's been outside.
He's got the bolo tie, too, which I think.
You like that?
Sets off the ensemble nicely.
There's the cowboy.
Ringlesby doesn't have a bolo tie.
No, but it's bright.
You can see it from here.
You can see that anywhere you look around the ballpark, you'll see it.
That's one of the nice things working about Tracy with Ringlesby. I never have to worry that he and I are going to be caught in the same outfit during the pre or post game show. A foul ball went into the press box, and what they do is usually that'll put a hole or a dent in the wall, and then Bill there in the green shirt goes over and writes the date and the batter's name over the hole in the wall. Seth Smith strikes out. That ends the inning. We go to the top of the 7th. Rockies lead at 7-2. on defense. More saving, more doing. Todd Helton catching a line drive from Niger Morgan, then stepping on first base to double off Ricky Weeks in the 5th inning. Rockies lead at 7-2 as we get ready to start the top of the 7th. Matt Belisle now on the hill for the Rockies.
The right-hander comes in, appearing in his 43rd ball game, and Jim Tracy, utilizing his bullpen throughout that first half, hopes to have the same accomplishments. Got beat up in the one inning he worked here against his Kansas City Royals. You'll remember 6 hits, I believe, in 1 inning, 5 runs given up. He's a guy that has attacked the strike zone, and he's doing it with a very efficient fastball, 90 to 94 miles an hour. He started to implement a hard slider that works down and away from the right-handers, and he's had very good success with that. There it is there, and it dumped into right field. Will Smith not get under?
Now Betancourt headed for second base. He's going to have himself a stand-up double. Similar to the play we saw earlier in the game where Corey Hart couldn't get to the ball in right field.
Yeah, this ball hit a little bit longer up into the air. I thought Smith had this in his glove, and then just out of the reach. He got a very good angle on the baseball. A little more carry, I think, Tom. Just agreeing with you that I think there's probably a little bit more carry there than Smith anticipated. It was a good call on your part.
That'll bring up Jonathan Lucroy, who's 0 for 2 tonight. Struck out back in the 2nd, grounded out to second in the 4th. And he looks at a first pitch strike. Fastball from Belisle. Rafael Betancourt and Rex Brothers up in the bullpen for the Rockies. Betancourt's double, the 4th double by the Brewers this evening. So on foul off into the seats. Mark Kotsay is up in the on-deck circle for the Brewers. The pitcher Estrada due up in that spot. Here's the 0-2 pitch. And he got him.
Working that fastball inner half just locked him up after showing slider away. A very good pitch by Matt Belisle, well positioned for the strikeout.
That'll bring in Mark Kotsay to pinch hit. .294 as a pinch hitter this season.
You know, when he was a regular with the Oakland A's, put up very big numbers and was very, very good, and had a couple of years of injuries that he's battled, and now plays sparingly in right field and left. Still possesses a decent arm.
Belisle's thrown 6 pitches, all of them strikes. There's a grounder right back to Belisle. And now they got the runner trapped between second and short. Throws it to Tulowitzki. Stewart chasing him back. In the meantime, Kotsay will move into second base as they retire Betancourt.
Well, Belisle did exactly what he's supposed to do. Catch the ball, don't throw it too early. Run right at him, now minimize the throws. Milwaukee's base running did exactly what they're supposed to do. Stay in the rundown long enough so Kotsay could get to second base and get in scoring position.
Here's Ricky Weeks. 0 for 2 with a walk. That one fouled back. Well, Ubaldo Jimenez had a nice outing tonight. 6 innings, 6 hits, 2 earned runs.
10 ground ball outs too. That's impressive when you do that. It means he's keeping the ball down in the strike zone. Not a lot getting elevated at all.
That's just good to see that he's back on course.
Oh yeah.
Consistently. It's the 0-1 pitch to Weeks. That one down in the dirt. Belisle's had 6 outings against the NL Central this season, and over 6 2/3 innings has only allowed 1 earned run. The 2-1 pitch to Weeks. Foul, 2-2.
Traveling, subscribe to MLB.tv to see every Rockies game on your computer and favorite device. Visit ColoradoRockies.com to order today.
The 2-2 pitch. Struck him out. So after giving up a leadoff double, Belisle able to put him down 1-2-3. We head to the bottom of the 7th. Rockies lead at 7-2. Run, his 3rd of the season. That made it a 1-1 ball game. In the bottom of the 2nd inning, Ubaldo Jimenez helping his own cause with an RBI single. His 3rd RBI of the season drove in Ty Wigginton, made it a 2-2 game. Rockies exploded offensively in the 4th. Chris Iannetta with an RBI single that scored Ian Stewart. After that, Ryan Spilborghs with an RBI single to score Iannetta, and then Mark Ellis with an RBI single to score Ryan Spilborghs, and Troy Tulowitzki with an RBI double to score Ellis. 4-run inning. Rockies lead at 7-2 as we get set for the bottom of the 7th. Zach Braddock now on the hill for the Brewers.
Now the left-hander, the lone left-hander down in their bullpen, trying to set this up with to work as their trail by 5 right now to make sure he stays sharp. Very good arm, fastball range 90 to 94 miles an hour, possesses a hard sweeping slider. See 14 hits, but the big thing, 18 strikeouts and 17 in the third innings. A lot of clubs aren't fortunate like the Rockies. The Rockies have 3 left-handers in their bullpen, Stoltz being the long guy, Brothers and Reynolds 2 short left-handers. And I think that they're one of those guys, you know, that can come in and get it, but they also have the right-handers that dominate left-handed bats. Makes a difference. There's that hard slider. Reynolds, the other left-handed down there, is warming up in the Rockies bullpen right now.
The count's 2-1 to Ty Wigginton. And the count now 3-1. Braddock pitched on Sunday against Cincinnati and walked the only batter he faced in Jay Bruce. Wigginton fouls this one off. Count now full. Windshield damage? Call Safelite Auto Glass at 303-287-5000 or go to safelite.com. Here's the 3-2 pitch. And it's a base hit through the right side. Well, right now, let's check in once again with Mark Stout. Mark.
Tom, George, I'd like you to meet Chris. Chris came up to me and said, I'm here from Alaska visiting my grandfather. I want to say hi to everybody. Who's your favorite Rocky?
Troy Tulowitzki.
Why is that?
Because he got the double hit.
Do you remember the ball that hitting off his bat twice, Tom?
Absolutely. The double hit, it was against the Yankees, I think, wasn't it? Or was it?
It was against the Yankees, and Chris was talking to me about that. But what's your favorite sport, though? It's not baseball because you're from Alaska.
It's hockey.
What position do you play?
Right, or forward right.
Right wing, right?
Yes.
Yeah, but, guys, he brought his glove. So you're ready for a foul ball. Have any come near you here?
2 have.
Did you get any leather on it?
No.
No. It's a Hanley Ramirez glove, by the way, guys.
Oh, okay.
So it's a Rawlings. He's ready to go. Visiting his grandfather. Going to head down to Dallas, he told me. And then when do you go back to Alaska?
The 29th.
What's your favorite thing about Coors Field and about baseball?
It's a really cool field. The atmosphere here is just really cool, and I just love the sport of baseball.
There's a foul ball. We can talk a little bit. What other sports do you play? Do you play anything else other than hockey?
Well, I played soccer for a few years, but now I usually only play hockey.
Only hockey. Yeah, I can see that up in Alaska. So just wanted to introduce everybody to Chris. He came right up to me. Doesn't usually happen in the stands, and he was, I want to talk to everybody en route. So there you go, Tom and George.
There you go.
All right.
Anchorage, Alaska to Denver. It's 3,200 miles.
3,200 miles you travel.
Yeah. Well, I don't know if I'm rounding.
From Anchorage to Denver.
He seems stunned.
That's a lot of miles.
That's what we were thinking.
Yeah, that's a long ways for you to travel.
Thanks, Chris.
All right, thank you, Mark. 2-1 the count to Ian Stewart.
Well, just a minute ago, Ty Wigginton had a huge jump at first and really had the base stolen. Stewart got a fastball to swing at and fouled it back.
And they'll keep an eye on Wigginton. You know, one of the things I like about Ian Stewart, he still wears what I call the old-fashioned eye black. The eye grease.
Wipe on?
Yeah, you put it on there. Some guys use the stickers now.
Right.
He puts the grease on there. Rockies with a 5-run lead. They'd like to add to it here in the 7th. There goes the runner. Fly ball to left center field, and this one is going to drop one hop over the wall for a double. So Wigginton will have to hold up at third base.
Boy, good to see for Ian Stewart. Second double of the ball game. And people want to see him swing the bat with authority and see what he can do with it. And it's really good to see him able to come on and take a hack on against a left-hander, particularly a hard-throwing left-hander, on a ball down and away. That's a swing of authority for Ian Stewart. Short little tap out front with the front side, kept his head very calm and still, and drove it into left center field, 390 feet away from the plate.
He's got consecutive multi-hit games for the first time this season now. And that brings up Chris Iannetta with runners at second and third and nobody out.
Cole Garner has stepped out in the on-deck circle for the Rockies.
That one way outside. It's been a rough night for the Brewers. They got on the board first, but the Rockies responded, and then the Brewers took a 2-1 lead in the top of the second. The Rockies responded once again to even things up. Since that point, it's been all Colorado. You can tell by the body language of Lucroy that he's not happy with where Braddock's putting the ball.
A little disappointed in what happened there. Shaking his head like, what are you doing, dude? Come on, see what I'm doing here? Now look at me tapping everywhere. Somewhere in there, there's a sign. You goofy left-hander.
It's the 2-0 pitch, and it's ball 3. So now he's in danger of walking Iannetta and loading up the bases.
Cole Garner, which would love the opportunity to swing the bat with the bases loaded as a pinch hitter to see what he can do. He swung the bat well at every minor league stop he's had.
Cole Garner got his first major league hit last weekend against Washington. He did it in his first major league start. He made his major league debut on the 4th of July against Atlanta after Carlos Gonzalez was injured running into the wall. Iannetta swing and a miss. So the count full now. After the count was 3-0. So the base is now loaded. And that'll bring up Cole Garner. As we said, he made his major league debut with the Rockies on the 4th of July. He was called up after Carlos Gonzalez was injured, was with the team in Atlanta. Then they decided to send him back to AAA Colorado Springs last Thursday. Well, during the game on Thursday is when Charlie Blackmon broke his foot rounding second. In the meantime, Garner had landed in Denver, gotten to Colorado Springs. As soon as he arrived, they said, you know what, you got to go back. Went back to the airport and then flew to Washington, D.C. to meet the team.
Yeah, well, those are pretty good flights to make when you're heading the other way towards the big leagues versus away. And all that excitement of being in the big leagues is back, and it stays with you. He's 1 for 8. First time he's come up with the bases loaded in his big league career.
fouls that one back.
Like a lot of pinch hitters, particularly after a walk, you could pretty much look fastball first pitch because they're trying to get ahead with nobody out in a game 7-2.
You talked about him hitting well everywhere he stopped along the minor league route. Colorado Springs this season, he was hitting .340 before his call-up. 7 home runs to go along with that. Here he is with the bases loaded, an 0-1 count. The Rockies have 15 hits tonight. That walk by Chris Iannetta is the first time that a Rockies batter has walked tonight. Here's the 1-1 pitch. And it's down in the dirt. Braddock has thrown 19 pitches. 11 of those have been balls.
Yeah, have been close with a lot of them, particularly the breaking ball. So as a hitter, you eliminate that slider and look fastball all the way through. Got a fastball there, but at 93. And Tom, what happens is, particularly if you're a power guy, meaning everything's a hard fastball, hard slider, and you come to Coors Field, if you really don't keep your hands on top of that slider, it flattens out and becomes a very hittable pitch. You don't throw it as hard, and it has a lot less break to it. So you eliminate that pitch, look fastball, and try to tee off on it. And there's another fastball, a good one that time, down in the zone at 94, and he fought it off.
That's not the fan from Alaska, but somebody that brought their glove made a nice catch.
Well, then find the fan.
Now the kid right there with the Rockies hat.
Never mind. Okay, all right.
Yeah.
He gets. I just say if it's kind of an older gentleman, you need to head on over and make sure.
The 2-2 pitch to Garner. Ball 3. We got Ryan Spilborghs waiting on deck. Ty Wigington at third, Ian Stewart at second, Chris Iannetta at first, and a full count to Cole Garner. Rockies with a 7-2 lead, looking to expand on it. Here's the payoff pitch.
We'll keep it alive, keep things going. Tulsa lost today 5-1. Dan Houston pitched very well. 7 innings, just 1 run given up in that ballgame.
Now that's a hat. I think one of the cheeseheads trying to cover up the fact he's a
losing 7-2.
Yeah.
And
maybe hat is not making it any better.
And getting ready to maybe have some more tacked on.
Now here's the 3-2 pitch. This one foul. Prince Fielder drifting over, and he had room but can't make the catch. Wigington was thinking of tagging up too. He was going to try and sneak home on that one.
How much of room did he have, and what kind of chance did he have? Long run to get over there, misread it a little bit. But yeah, he had room. The ball landed in fair territory.
Well, it landed in play.
And they gave him an error for missing the play in foul territory, which would have resulted in an out. So now he has 11 errors on the season. 2 in this ball game.
And he walked him. So Garner draws the walk. Ty Wigginton will trot home, and it's an 8-2 lead for the Rockies. Base is still loaded and still nobody out. This replay brought to you by the Colorado Lottery. Now through July 31st, you can replay every non-winning scratch ticket in a second chance drawing at ColoradoLottery.com. Ryan's Billboard's big night. First inning, solo home run. Then he came back in the fourth inning with an RBI single. And then in the sixth, tacked on another single and would end up scoring a run. He scored 3 times tonight, 3 for 4 on the night.
Well, Ron Rennick's going to his bullpen. He just can't allow games to get carried away more than anything with the lone left-hander in the bullpen and at 25 pitches. He can't allow to leave him out there either, so he's going to bring in the hard-throwing sinker baller Cameron Lowe out of the bullpen, the right-hander.
Rockies up 6, looking to add to it. Make the world your workplace. Ryan Braun extended his hit streak to 23 games, 3rd longest in Brewers history. Ryan's Billboards started things off for the Rockies with a leadoff home run. Carlos Gonzalez, the other guy to do it for the Rockies this season. All 9 Rockies starters with hits, including Ubaldo Jimenez, who had an RBI single in the second, his 3rd RBI of the season. So Ryan Spilborg stepping to the plate with the bases loaded here in the 7th inning. Rockies with an 8-2 lead, and Cameron Lowe now on the hill for Milwaukee.
Has appeared in an awful lot of baseball games, 46 to be exact, 44 innings pitched, 40 hits. What this team has done to tell you who comes into games on the winning side, and this is a guy that does just that. When he's pitched in ball games, the Brewers are 29-17.
Checks his swing. That one a strike. 0-1.
The 2 guys in Atlanta that lead their bullpen, Venters with 51 games, Kimbrel with 47. Lowe is tied for 3rd in the league in appearances at 46.
That went down in the dirt. And if you're scoring at home, they have now taken away the error on Prince Fielder on that play down the right field line towards the stands. But he still has an error tonight, and that's 10 on the season. Everybody on the infield for the Milwaukee Brewers has double digits in errors this season, with McGee leading the way with 13. Here's the 1-1 pitch. It's ball 2. The Rockies, who hadn't drawn a walk the entire game, have had the last 2 batters draw walks in Iannetta and Cole Garner. Garner's walk allowed Wigginton to score to make it an 8-2 ball game. Spilborg's to right field, and that one's a fair ball. Ian Stewart will score. Ionetta will score. Garner will hold up at third, and Ryan Spilborgh's in to second base. 10-2 Colorado.
And Spilly, what a night he's having. 2 more RBIs. Gives him 19 on the season, 4 tonight for Ryan Spilborghs. Even though it's a dump into right field, he'll take him any way you can get him. On a hard slider, breaking away from him, reaches out with the end of the bat and has enough bat speed going that he dumps this ball out over the head of Prince Fielder with the slicing action on the baseball. It curves away, and the fans of here at Coors Field excited with the results of the Rockies. 10 runs on the board now, leading 10-2 with nobody out here in the bottom of the 7th.
Well, it's the 3rd time Ryan Spilborghs has had 4 hits in a single game.
That's outstanding. Not many times has he had 4 RBIs in a ball game. 2nd time this year that he's had 4 RBIs. 19 on the season.
There's a grounder to second. Weeks will throw to first. Cole Garner will score, and it's an 11-2 ball game.
First out of the inning, a productive out, because the ball in this type of a game with the infield back, ball hit to the right side, they're going to allow the run score, but it also gives Helton an opportunity with 1 out and a runner at third to pick up an RBI, be his 42nd of the season.
And they're playing a shift on Helton. I don't know if I've ever seen the shift on Helton.
Not many times. You don't see it on him hardly at all.
So you've got Betancourt playing almost directly behind second base. Weeks playing between first and second, and Prince Fielder over towards the line. Meanwhile, it's up to McGee to hold down the left side of the infield.
The Rockies have switched around in their bullpen now. They've got Brothers up and Reynolds down, with the lead being expanded. Rex as he starts to get loose in the bullpen.
Helton looks at a strike. Count now 2-1. Helton 1 for 4. Had a single back in the 3rd. Right to third. Throw to home, and they've got Spilborghs in a rundown. Spilborghs coming home to throw. They'll put on the tag. Helton will move over to second base. I was surprised, George, with the shift that they would pitch Helton outside.
Well, I was too, but they did do that. They ran the hard sinker. And sometimes, you know, Todd with that shift on twice tonight has tried to shoot the ball through the right side, or excuse me, left side of this infield. That ball was really diving away from Helton as he went after it. And that ball ended up being caught at third base versus getting through the hole which was created by their defense.
Here's Troy Tulowitzki, who's got a pair of doubles tonight. Pitch a strike. Second time this ball game the Rockies have scored 4 runs in an inning. They've got 4 in this inning. They scored 4 back in the 4th inning.
Well, they want you to test all your skills as an announcer and all the different calls that you have.
Yeah.
That's why they get so many hits. And,
oh, well, it's working out nicely.
Yeah, I like it so far.
The 3rd and the 5th inning are the only innings the Rockies have not scored in. The Brewers haven't scored since the 2nd at all. Bouncer to third. They'll chase Helton back and put the tag on. Now that'll end the 7th inning, but not before the Rockies put 4 more on the board. They lead at 11-2 as we go to the top of the 8th. Join us for Toyota Talk. Text your comments during the game and see what you and fellow Rockies fans have in their mind about their favorite team. Text Toyota followed by a space and then your comment to 720-720. You can follow everyone's comments live during the 6th inning and the entire Toyota postgame show. Standard message and data rates may apply. Cole Garner, who came in to pinch hit in the 7th inning, stays in the ball game in left field. Jonathan Herrera is in at short as Troy Tulowitzki will take the rest of the night off, and Ty Wigington has moved from left field to first base. And your new pitcher now is Rex Brothers, who's on the hill. He has 9 consecutive scoreless appearances with 11 strikeouts in 7 innings during that streak, and has allowed just 6 hits over those 9 outings. Niger Morgan leading things off for the Brewers here in the top half of the 8th. Count 1-1. His Brothers hits 96 on the radar gun. Fouled off 1-2. Quit picking on me. It's a 1-2 pitch, and that one fouled on the left field line.
Woody and Speedy, you know, they're 2 guys that work the robo cameras. They're the ones up behind on the screens.
Oh yeah,
and so they just start searching for things to find. Don't bite that.
That's the great thing with kids. You don't have to buy expensive toys. Give them a plastic bottle. That'll keep them occupied for a while. Swing and a miss as Morgan strikes out.
That was a nasty slider from Rhodes.
Time for today's CenturyLink high-speed pitch. Giovanni Gallardo hitting 95 miles per hour on the radar gun. Ubaldo Jimenez 96. More importantly for Jimenez, goes 6 innings tonight, gives up just 2 earned runs, and is looking like the Ubaldo Jimenez of old. And he's gotten plenty of offensive support. Rockies 11 runs on the board, 16 hits.
Yeah, that's a little unusual too, because in his starts this year he had the 6th lowest run support of anybody in baseball of just a little over 3.11.
And it seems like there's a guy every year that's going to be that guy in the rotation that every time he pitches, for whatever reason,
just doesn't
get as much support as other guys in the rotation.
And a lot of times he's going against other teams' number one. So
right.
You're going to have a 2-1, 3-2 type ball game, but that's 9 straight starts he's had with 3 runs, 3 or less. So Jimenez has been very effective of late.
It's the 1-1 pitch. And foul. Braun's 2 for 3 tonight. Doubled and scored in the first, singled in the sixth.
Former Rocky LaTroy Hawkins warming up down in the bullpen for the Brew Crew.
Now the Brewers continue to be a team that struggles on the road. If they can't mount some sort of miraculous comeback here, they'll be 16-30 on the road this year. It's been the home record that has kept them afloat.
Boy, it really has. Their ability to play very well against those guys when they get them into their ballpark.
Coors Field continues to be a tough spot on the Brewers too. They're 15-33 here.
And what they've done against the Central, 20-17, against the West, 10-6. In interleague play, 6-9. So that record not very good in interleague play. They've added that bullpen help, K-Rod, from the New York Mets.
Well, the interesting thing about Francisco Rodriguez, too, is he has a $17.5 million club option for 2012 with a $3.5 million buyout. And the option automatically kicks in if Rodriguez finishes 55 games this season. Now, he's already finished 34, so his magic number becomes 21 over these final 70 games to collect that $17.5 million. Now, there's some talk that the Brewers won't let him get to that point. Well, they will keep him under that number, use him, but don't let him finish games so that bonus doesn't kick in.
Exactly, and again, that's a big bonus to talk about. $17.5 million. Recently, just a week ago, he fired his agent and he hired Scott Boras to represent him.
Paul Kinzer was his agent, fired him and brought on Scott Boras.
Interesting things surrounding K-Rod as he finishes out this season.
Fly ball to center field. Brian Spilgers has it. And there's two-way. So now we'll get a pinch hitter, as they'll call it a night for Prince Fielder. This will be Carlos Gomez.
When you get in blowout games, 11-2 considered a blowout, a lot of times you wait until one of the managers pulls his superstars and then you'll match with him. And with the Rockies taking out Helton and Tulowitzki, they choose now to take Prince Fielder out of the ball game here in the top half of the 8th inning.
My brother's touches 96 once again on the gun. I remember seeing him throw in Scottsdale this spring. I just thought, won't be long before he's wearing a Rockies uniform.
Yeah, it was hard. It's just a little more maturity. Wiggy will make the play at first. Ty Wigginton will make that to retire Gomez and end it. It's 11-2 in the
Coors Light Freeze Cam, and it has been a great night offensively for the Rockies. Ryan Spilborgh's got it started with a solo home run. Troy Tulowitzki with a double after that, and the hits just kept a-coming. The Rockies have scored double digits in runs for the first time since June 17th when they put up 13 against the Detroit Tigers. That's brought to you by Frostbrewed Coors Light, the world's most refreshing beer. All right, some defensive changes is now for the Milwaukee Brewers. Niger Morgan is over in left field. Gomez is in center. He came in to pinch hit. Josh Wilson is over at third base, taking over from McGee. Craig Counsell in the ball game. He's now at second base. And you got Casey McGee over at first base now, as Prince Fielder is done for the night. And you've got former Rocky LaTroy Hawkins on the hill.
Well, what a great earned run average, 1.08 for LaTroy, making his 28th appearance in 25 innings pitched, 24 hits, 15 strikeouts. He's done a nice job, spent some time on the DL earlier this year. And as your team has had 3 days off with the All-Star break, you take a hold of these opportunities to try to go ahead and get some work for your bullpen.
Seth Smith to lead things off. Looks at a first pitch strike. One foul, so the count now 0-2. Shaped up for a very nice start for the Rockies to the second half of the season.
Build off of it's what you need to do.
Sure.
You know, come out here tomorrow with the confidence that you have to perform and win games here.
There's one to dead center field. Gomez going back, and he'll make the catch and hit the wall.
Tell you what, you're sitting over in the dugout, just kind of relaxing, watching the game, an 11-2 ball game. You pinch hit. Doogie's talking to Gonzalez about how to put your hands up instead of running into it, because Gonzalez hit that post in center field, joking, of course. Well, there's that ball drive, and Gomez has speed that a lot of people don't have in center field. He put both hands up to brace himself, not just one hand, as he went into that wall, but he also hit the pads, not a steel beam.
And he had a couple more steps to try and throttle down before he hit that wall. When Carlos Gonzalez made that catch, it was a bang bang right into the wall. But Keith Duggar, the trainer for the Rockies, immediately looked at Carlos Gonzalez and talked about where to have his hands on that catch to try and prevent yourself from getting an arm, a shoulder, or wrist injury. Carlos Gonzalez trying very hard to stay off the DL. Wigington with a base hit up the middle. Well, it was the 3rd of July against Kansas City, final game of the series, and a fly ball to center field. Carlos Gonzalez giving chase, and just as he caught the ball, hit the wall. Really didn't have any time to brace himself at all. It is that right wrist that's the problem right now. If you were to put your hand out like you were shaking hands and touch the bone at the top of that wrist and then slide your finger just to the inside of that wrist right on that bone, that's where he's feeling most of the pain. And he said, you know, even if I went on the DL, no matter what happens, he goes, even 2 weeks from now, I'm not going to be 100%, but if I can find a way to play with it, get the pain minimized and find a way to compete, then I want to do that without going on the DL and taking that extra time off.
Well, a lot of managers would tell you 80% or 75% of Carlos Gonzalez is better than not having him at all.
Well, with him out of the lineup, and Charlie Blackmon with a broken foot, you know, you certainly reduced your depth in the outfield.
And your depth at the minor league level. I mean, you know, now you start looking even farther down the line as You know, you might be looking at a Tim Wheeler who's having a great year, yet maybe not ready for the big leagues. But if injuries continue, that's something you don't have a choice on.
Fly ball down the left field line, and this one is dropped.
That will be.
It was in foul territory. Wigginton tried to move up. He wasn't sure if it was fair or foul.
Ugly game for Milwaukee Brewers. Ron Renick cannot be happy. A lot of things. Not only did the pitching staff get blistered, but there's been plays that could have been made that would prevent the pitching staff from giving up those runs, and this might be one of those plays. Yeah, nobody feels worse right now than Wilson at third base for not making the play.
Now they're going to charge him with an error, second error of the ball game for the Brewers. They have 12 more errors on the road than they do at home this season. That hasn't helped him. Ian Stewart, base hit to right field. Ty Wigginton will move up to second base, and it's a 3-hit night for Stewart. Well, here's what Jim Tracy had to say earlier about the mindset of his team starting the second half of the season.
I don't want the players to go out there feeling like they have to make up a bunch of games in the first 3 or 4 days. You don't have to have that type of mindset. We have a long, long way to go. And I've always been told that when you go into the second half of a major league season, if your game's behind digit is a single digit, not a double digit, you're very much alive.
Yeah, absolutely you are. I mean, that's something you'd heard preached since you were playing in college, that if you tightened it up enough that you were only, looking at 6, 7, 8 games back, you're only a series away from getting hot and climbing on top of people, particularly with the way the schedule is set up in the National League West.
1-0 the count to Iannetta. And here's one to right field, and that one will be a base hit. And the Rockies have bases loaded. So that'll bring up Cole Garner, who'll bat for the second time tonight with the bases loaded. And George, as we talk about Jim Tracy and the mindset of the Rockies moving in through the second half of the season, it doesn't hurt that right now San Diego with a 1-0 lead over San Francisco in the 7th. You've got a chance right out of the gate
to
pick up a game.
Absolutely, pick up a full game.
Move yourself 7.5 back.
Yeah, and it's not like it's in the first inning. It's in the 7th inning of the ball game. So that gives you some good feelings about it. Madison Bumgarner started that game for San Francisco, and I think Tim Stauffer the other. 19 hits for this club. 19 hits. That's a season high. But how about this? The bottom of the lineup, Ty Wigginton, Ian Stewart, Chris Iannetta, and of course Ubaldo Jimenez had a base hit. They're 9 for 17 in the game so far, with 5 runs scored, and it isn't over. The bottom of the lineup's hitting now.
Well, and Cole Garner, who came in the 7th with the bases loaded as a pinch hitter, drew a walk and pushed in Wigginton. One foul. There's Jim Wright, bullpen coach.
Big Jim Wright.
He's hanging out, yeah. He's giving away souvenirs. There's Eric Stoltz.
Yeah, the veteran left-hander already. Yeah, veteran left-hander looking to come on to pitch the 9th inning.
The 1-1 pitch to Garner. Swing and a miss for a strike.
And as you are a veteran guy like Stoltz at 31 years old, every outing, regardless of the score, means everything to you, because it could be your last one in the big leagues, or it may gain you another month or even another year in the big leagues if you continue to mount up good outings one after the other.
Fouled off. Ian Stewart with a 3-hit game tonight. His last 3-hit game, May 8th of 2010.
No. Who looked that up?
Doug looked it up.
Searching.
But you talk about a guy you want to see get on the right track, pick up the bat offensively. Remember when he got called back up, he had to look at that 0.64 average on the board.
And that's changed to 141.
Yeah.
Even 141 is not by any standards of what Ian Stewart would like to see, but he's starting to feel good. 4 for 19.
Absolutely.
4 for 19. Now 7 hits for 24 attempts. A lot better numbers coming up for Ian Stewart.
It's the 1-2 pitch. High bouncing ball towards second. The fielder can't make a play. Garner's safe. Wigginton scores, and it's 12-2 Rockies.
Well, it's one of those games that you get involved in. There's a lot of singles against LaTroy Hawkins. A lot of balls on the ground. Plays not completed. This ball hit right off of the home plate area. Betancourt thinking about one place to go first, and then couldn't get a grip on the baseball, so he had to eat it. And that happened. Everybody's safe, and Spilborgh's going to get a chance to build on a great night. 4 hits, 4 RBIs for Spilly so far, and here it is with the bases loaded and 1 out against LaTroy Hawkins.
How about a grand knock to end it all off? That'd be a nice nightcap for him, wouldn't it?
Well, yeah, that'd help you sleep a little better, I can tell you that.
I think he's going to sleep fine.
That's when you can walk into Skip's office tomorrow and go, you know, hey, dude, I had a pretty nice night last night. You might want to think about it.
Here's the 1-0 pitch. Grounded towards Counsell to second for 1. Throw first in time for the double play. So that ends the inning, but not before the Rockies get another run on the board. They leave it 12-2 as we head to the top of the ninth. The top of the ninth right now. Let's send it out to Alana Rizzo for the Toyota post-game preview. Alana.
All right, guys. Tom, you said it. A great offensive night. All in from top to bottom. Everybody in the starting lineup got a hit. Then spilling the beans. Have a night, Ryan Spilborghs. And then say you will. Ubaldo Jimenez doing what he needed to do on the hill to keep his team in this game in a big fashion. Of course, you can keep texting on the Toyota post-game show. A nice win here for the Rockies if they can close this one out, guys.
Well, Alana, we're taking odds in the booth, and people are texting in of whether you or Tracy will dance tonight.
Well, I cannot. Heels and a dress, and I've already done it once, and I'm terrible at it. Jeff already said he wouldn't do it, so that only leaves the Cowboy unless Homer makes his way over here.
Well,
we haven't had the desk tested for that kind of durability. I don't know.
Yeah, it's probably going to have to be either Helmer coming over here, George, or you yourself. You're more than welcome to come to the center.
I'd love it if Ringlesby just leaned over the rail and said, "I'm king of the world." He looks like he's on the head of. He looks like he looks like he's on the front of the Titanic over there.
Yeah, where I don't even see him. Where is he?
He's not focusing.
Left.
Yeah,
he's I hear all by myself.
He checked out a long time ago. Yeah.
See you guys in a bit.
All right, thank you, Alana. Eric Stoltz on the hill for the Rockies here to finish things off in the top of the ninth.
Well, a left-hander, good mix of pitches. He started for the Dodgers and then went to Japan where he was a starting pitcher also. But a left-hander with 4-pitch mix, typically though slider fastball. It's pitched effectively for the Rockies coming out of the bullpen.
That was a good Thursday night crowd for the Rockies. 41,088. Most of those have made their way to the parking lot with this game in good shape. 10-run lead for Colorado. Last time the Rockies had 20 or more hits in a game was August 2nd of 2010 against the Phillies. And the Rockies actually lost that game 12-11. Excuse me, September 2nd, 2010. Not good with numbers. One and two the count to Hart.
That was a little high. I can't believe he didn't swing at it though.
That scared Dinger back there though.
Just keeping him on his toes.
That's
not a big deal.
Whew. Mild heart attack for the dinosaur. And he's okay and posing for pictures once again. 2-2 the count. That one misses ball 3. Just outside.
Well, somebody forgot to tell Ed Hitchcock, come on, it's 12-2.
Fouled on the left field line. He's got a Robin Yount jersey and a baseball now. His team didn't come close, but he's got a souvenir. 3-2 pitch. That one fouled off. Hey, who wants tacos? Fans, if you'd like to receive text message alerts when the Rockies score 7 or more runs for the Rockies Taco Special, text the keyword taco to 720-720. Feed your Rockies fever only at Taco Bell. This was a Taco Bell ball game. Tacos tomorrow between 4 and 6. Here's one to deep right field. Seth Smith going back. This one's gone. It's a home run for Corey Hart, his 11th of the season.
Fouled off a lot of breaking balls, and Stoltz with a big lead decided to go ahead and challenge with the fastball and send it into the Rockies bullpen. His four-seam fastball, and it's up out over the plate. Let a big man extend his arms. You're going to have some ugly results, and that's what happened here with Corey Hart on that line drive to right field.
Corey Hart was 0 for 13 against the Rockies this season before that swing. A 1 count. Casey McGee. A fly ball to left field. Cole Garner's got it, and there's one away. This copyrighted telecast is presented by authority of the Colorado Rockies and may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form, and the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the Colorado Rockies. Here's Yuniesky Betancourt. 2 for 3 with a single and a double and a run scored in tonight's ball game.
Changeup. Ran it in at 72 miles an hour. Ellis will come in and make the play, mixed with that fastball at 91. Good pitch.
How about this, George? The Rockies have had multiple hits in every inning except the 5th when they went down 1-2-3. Other than that, no fewer than 2 hits in any inning tonight.
Yeah, when you throw 20 up on the board, you're going to have a lot of those big innings, and the Rockies have had those.
Ubaldo Jimenez with a big smile. Lucroy looks at a ball. Count now 2-0. A fly ball towards right center field. It'll be caught by Ryan Spilborghs, and why not? One of the big heroes of tonight's ball game with 4 hits. The Rockies dominate this ball game as they down the Milwaukee Brewers by a score of 12-3. Ubaldo Jimenez picks up the win, upping his record to 5-8. Yovani Gallardo, the losing pitcher, he'll fall to 10-6. The Rockies get off to a great start here in the second half. Today's delivery of the game is brought to you by Jimmy John's, America's favorite sandwich delivery guys. Ubaldo Jimenez, 6 innings, 6 hits, 2 earned runs, walked a pair, and struck out 4, and gets the Rockies in the right direction in the first game after the All-Star break. Now the question is, how will the Rockies respond the rest of this series, and can they capitalize off a huge offensive night? Well, that's going to do it for us, folks. For George Frazier and Mark Stout, I'm Tom Helmer. Stay tuned. The Toyota postgame show is coming your way next.